How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. This is an odd day today. I'm struggling with balancing the show today and some technical difficulties that I keep running into, and knowing that I can only be on for another hour or two, another couple of hours, because I've got to go to work tonight and I got to go and sleep more if that's possible. I don't know, but hey, in any event, you're here now. I'm here now. We're all here. Awesome. 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 I don't know what else to say other than that. Hey, look at that. Stream Elements is showing up for a third time. Let's find something here real quick. Excuse me. I am looking for one thing. I'm wondering here. 20 terabyte. Western Digital refurbished. No. NAS 3.5 HD Western WL. Good refurbished, brand new, $400. Wow. So Western Digital Gold is $400 direct from Western Digital for a 20 terabyte drive. Damn. And Western Digital, why is Gold Enterprise Class SATA? Oh, that's not a NAS, that's just a Enterprise class. But a Western Digital Red Pro 20 terabytes is like $50 more. Wow. And what's this MDD? Who are these guys? MDD, never heard of them. $339 for a 20 terabyte, 7200 RPM. Oh, those are spinners. Well, of course they're spinners. Of course, they're all going to be spinners. Duh. Or I can pick up a expansion 20 terabyte external USB 3.0 desktop with rescue whatever for $309. Huh. That's not bad. Brand new Hewlett Packard 20 terabyte SAS Life. Wow, hard drive. Holy crap. West Digital Easy Store. Huh. Some crazy stuff out there. Crazy, crazy lad. I was going to go and look for something else, but damn. What's a 20 terabyte Exos going for? Iron Wolf Pro 20 terabyte, 419. 4, 8, 12, 16. $1,600. Damn. Seagate Exos X20. Wow. Enterprise hard drive, brand new, almost $500. 12 terabyte, really? It's only like $400 for a 12 terabyte. It's like $100 less. Oh, that's recertified even. Wow. Seagate Exos pre-owned. Yeah, we know what that means. It's been beat to shit. Hard drives are not cheap. Damn. That's all I'm gonna say. I only came here though to see that was delivered. Tracking's available. Tracking's available. Tracking's available. Partially refunded. Delivered. Okay. So I'm still waiting. Delivered. Friday the 30th. Oh, that's today. Tuesday, February. So that's going to be, that's tomorrow. This is supposedly today. It's not delivered. I just looked. It wasn't there. And this share should be here on Tuesday. Okay. I got my Hokas in. They look good. Let me see here. Oh, huh. Ooh, LED shoelaces. Wow. Yeah, I'll pass. Those look gay. Jeez. What are these? Set of 2 shoelace buckles. Rope, clamp, cord lock, stopper. Fucking Chinese. Just fucking spit it out. All top bargains. Wow, they sold 500,000 things. You think they know how to speak fucking English by now? Set of 2 shoelace, buckle, rope, clamp, cord, lock, stopper, run, sports, gray. Dude, just shut the fuck up and fucking call it what it is. And I don't even know what it is. So fucking just stop shitting names all over the place. What's up, Personal Vortex? Hey, I don't think I've seen you before. I mean, I see you hanging out there in chat, but welcome to the stream. So this must be like the latest and greatest. Oh. Sorry, yeah, I know. You really can't see. All you see is my ugly mug. Sorry. Usually I have my personal time before I go online, or before I go on, but you probably came here to see some Counter-Strike. Huh. I should probably give you some Counter-Strike, shouldn't I? All right. I forgot. I mean, that's it. I don't need anything else I want to look at there. Oh, yeah, look at that. For sure. It even says it. First time chat. Yeah, I haven't been here before. Just browsed through and followed. Well, hey, thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it. Usually the way this show goes, it's a variety show. I mean, I start out with the intent to play a game, and I usually do play that game. Like, there we go. I usually do play that game. Make sure this is oh shit! I should probably put it on the. I should probably put that on there, shouldn't I? There we go. Hey, there we are. So I should probably play the game, huh? Just shut up, Stilly, and play the goddamn game. But no, really. A lot of times, just so you know, since you're just stopping in to say hi, I'll give you a quick rundown what the channel is usually like. You're in the U.S., right? You said it's like 1 p.m. It's 9 p.m. here. Wait a second, 9 p.m. there. Are you in Norway? Because I have a gentleman who stops in all the time. He's like my close. Yeah, he's in Norway, so he's like 9 hours ahead. It should be like what? Yeah, you said 9 p.m. there. Good, because I said that yesterday. Oh wait, if it's 9 p.m. there, you're only 8 hours, so you're off. You're in the UK. Oh, hey, are you a coffee drinker? I gotta ask this. I love the UK and I hate the UK. I mean that in a good way. You do like coffee, but you also like tea. Okay, that's good. Hey, I don't know if you're aware of this guy, but just so you know, I'm going to give you a link. This guy used to sell me coffee. He was in the UK. He is an awesome guy. His coffee is phenomenal. And he should still be his name is Peter Pitts. And him and I we haven't talked in voice, but we've gone back and forth in email and whatnot, and he is very aware of the coffee scene out here in the United States and whatnot. Anyways, let me make sure he's still up, because this guy, yes, he is still there. Beautiful. I was looking for coffee one night, just looking to see if I could. I was looking to see if I could find some coffee that was some artisan coffee, because when you buy coffee, there's like the cheap shit you find in the regular grocery store, and then there's like small batch roasters. But just because they're a small batch roaster doesn't mean they know what they're doing. And then there's artisans, and artisans are like, hey, once you've been roasting coffee and you have your recipe dialed in. Oh yeah, you love artisan coffee, the good kind that is. Oh yes, okay, you know what I'm talking about. So the artisans, a lot of times the roast masters, as they call themselves, some of them, they make some really good shit because they've been doing it for so long. They know how to make it. Well, I came across this guy one night, and I ordered coffee from him, and I'll tell you what, I didn't really care for Colombian. I like dark shit. I didn't care for Colombian medium roast and stuff, but I'll drink it. Anyways, I thought, hey, what the hell? This guy has really good prices. His coffee looks pretty decent. He makes it up or he roasts it. He only has like 6 or 7 different beans. He roasts it for you and ships it out to you. And I'll tell you what, man, he has free shipping within the UK. But it obviously costs money to be shipped over here in the United States. But I didn't care because I wanted to try it. And his coffee, when I got it and opened the box up, it stank up the whole fucking house, man. The whole house. This is a ranch style house. It's not that big. It's only 1,600 square feet, but still. The whole house, pretty much, you could smell his coffee in every room. And his coffee was phenomenal. It was awesome. Until then, my favorite, and I don't know if you're a coffee snob like I am, and I don't consider myself a typical coffee snob. Oh, I go to Starbucks. Starbucks, no. If you're a coffee snob, you do not go to Starbucks. But I hope there's no Starbucks out there in the UK. I really hope, because they'd be ruining shit. That sounds absolutely. You need your coffee to be dark and he's got some. He's got some Neapolitan dark. Neapolitan Neapolitan Supremo? No, Neapolitan something he's got. We have ton. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I think Starbucks is an American company. I'm really sorry. Please excuse them. What's his name? Here it is. Bam! There you go. There's a link to his website. Now, his website is not the best website. He's not a webmaster. He's a roast master. He is a master artisan with coffee. And with the way he roasts his beans, he actually has, like, I think, an open flame that actually will touch the beans. So, okay, thank you, sir. Or ma'am, personal vortex. I would assume you're a guy, but you could be a girl too. I don't know. I'm gonna say you're a guy. Most of the people that stop it on this channel are guys. So I thank you for accepting that apology. Feel free to piss on any Starbucks buildings you want. I can't stand that place. But anyways, this guy knows his coffee, and his prices are really good. And I feel bad because I can no longer he doesn't want to ship it to me anymore. He feels bad because shipping is so damn expensive from the UK to over here. And COVID wiped it out. After COVID, it was shipping. If people were even considering shipping, it was super expensive. And he felt bad. And he was even paying like half the shipping for me. And I think maybe I kind of put him in the negative. I don't know. But he is a very nice guy. Very, you can ask him questions. You can talk to him. I was going to at one point offer to redo his website, but I'm not I know some things, but I'm not the best. I'm not really an official webmaster. So, well, shit. There you go, man. If you've never heard of him, give him a shot and tell him Stilly sends his regards. He'll know. Well, yeah, he should know who I am. So, tell him Stilly in the USA sends his regards. Because he's always talking about wanting to get a Diedrich coffee roaster. But I'll tell you what, I am very thankful that this guy roasts his coffee with an open flame. I am very thankful to have found this guy. And this guy was my number one coffee. And it didn't matter. The Colombian Supremo, the Neapolitan dark or black or whatever it is, the Colombian and the Neapolitan, and there was one more. I think it may have been Italian. Don't quote me on that. The Kenyan wasn't bad, but the Colombian and the Neapolitan, those two, the Colombian Supremo and the Neapolitan, those two were like the best. Oh, it's good stuff. And anyways, though, my point is this guy, he is this guy just knows how to make coffee, man. His coffee roasts are, I believe, phenomenal. So if you've been looking at prices and if his prices look good to you and with the free shipping, then good. Give him a shot. I'm not going to say he'll give you any discounts or anything. I don't know. But he is a nice guy. He's a real nice guy, and he's got good communication, and he's got no problems talking to you. His name is Peter Pitts. Peter, Pitts. And I only wish that the only reason why I wished I lived in the UK sometimes is just so I could get more of his coffee. Because his coffee was my only coffee that I would drink for about probably 5 or 6 years. And then COVID happened and everything got turned upside down and he wasn't able to ship it out here anymore. And then after that, he was able to ship it, but it was super expensive and he kept feeling bad. He kept apologizing. And then he just kind of like, yeah, I think my last order, I think he ended up canceling it. I don't know if I got my money back or not, but it doesn't matter. I don't care because I really hope the best for him. And I hope that, I hope that if you like the coffee, I hope you like it. And I hope it's good stuff for you. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And if you never heard of him, I don't know how, but his coffee smells terrific. That's all I can tell you. And he's a great guy. He's not some coffee snob, he's always felt, I mean, I can't speak for the guy. I'm not going to say he's always felt this because I don't know that. I mean, in talking with him, he's always wanted to get one of these Dietrich fluid air beds. But I hope he doesn't, because I think the coffee that he makes with this whatever roaster that he's got with the flames licking the sides, oh man, that is the best. How much is the shipping? Good question. It came out, it's been a long time. Let me see, hold on. Let me see. Roasters coffee. Let me see here. Roasters. And he goes by, he has 2 names. I think his name is like First Crack at something, or which is, that's a coffee roasting term. Or he goes by Peter Pitts. Let me see here. Is he First Crack? First Crack 2011 at ymail.com. Let me see here. Wait, hold on. I don't know if that's... Yeah. Yeah. So, First Crack 2011 at ymail or Peter Pitts. Peter Pitts. Peter Pitts. Pitts Peter at ymail.com. Okay, let me see here. Castro Valley. Always good. Confirm. Let me see here. Difficult shipping costs. Now, this was like 5-6 years ago. 2020. Let me see. What did shipping? Shipping are through the roof. You send via FedEx 3 kilos. Okay, so it says here, to send you FedEx 3 kilos of coffee comes in at 34 pounds UK. Your coffee costs would only be 40. Your coffee costs is only 40 pounds, 40.6 UK pounds sterling. So shipping is like, it's almost like, it was almost like double the price of the coffee. Which is weird because when I did the math, I thought that, that was after COVID. That was after COVID, I think. Because like when I do the math, it was like, man, it came out to like $15 a pound. So it was still good. Do I have anything else from him? I don't think I do. Let me see here. Danger. I'm not gonna say I'm a coffee whore, and I've done 50 different flavors of coffee. I probably have actually. I've probably done more, but I mean, I haven't tested out everybody on on the internets, and I know that small batch roasters are what I prefer, but damn, let me see here. Let's go. Let me see here. What does he have? The last one was, let's see, 2022. Wow, why do I not have anything prior to this? It's all. Yes, I have your coffee order as usual. You're embarrassed trying to find the best shipping price for you. It's also bloody high. The cost will be an extra 48 pounds to send to you, USA. You've deducted what you can from your end, 12 pounds, which would be your UK shipping costs, included in my website prices. So 60 pounds UPS minus 12 my end is 48 for you. All right, I'll roast and post next couple of days. Huh. Yeah. And let me see here. Yeah, so anyways, he's a good guy. That's my point. How much is yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. If it were significantly cheaper, I would have offered to send it to you. Does he still offer? Because I thought he offered free shipping within the UK. But I mean, he is an incredibly generous guy, incredibly nice guy, and he's not someone that's stuck up. He is a humble individual. Let's go that way. I think he wouldn't mind being called humble. But he's a I mean the guy deserves an award of some sort. If there was a Nobel Peace Prize for coffee, if there was a Nobel artisan no, a Nobel artisanal, a Nobel artis a Nobel art a Nobel artisan roasting award, I think he definitely has earned it in life. Within the UK, it's free too. You just looked on the Royal Mail website how much it is to the U.S. mainland. You assume you don't live in Alaska. Yeah, I don't. I'm continental U.S. in California. I'm on the west coast. I don't know. I fucking don't. Fuck that. I'm on the west coast. West Coast, continental U.S. So yeah, but hey, man, good for you. And for all of you out there in the UK that were thinking of committing suicide because coffee just sucks, try this guy. There's your reason to live right there. That's all I can really say. Cali is a good place. Yeah. That's because you don't live here. Cali is a nice place to visit. But trust me, right now you really don't want to live here. I'm only here because of my job. If I didn't have my job and I was looking for another job, I'd be looking for a job outside of the state. I can do without the beach. Plus, there's probably nothing but a bunch of walruses and porkers on the beach, anyways. And who cares about these bitches with multicolored hair? You were so close to committing, Joe. I'll try this. All right. Well, that's good. That's what I like to hear. I have saved a life today. All right. What time is it? I've only been on for like about 45 minutes now. Cool. I guess my show is over. I have done my duty today. Like Boy Scouts, baby. It has to be in frame, so you got to see I'm doing the Boy Scout symbol. If I go like that, you're not going to see it. Right? Yeah. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I've done my good deed for the day. There we go. Yes. Coffee. tea is, I'm not really a tea person. However, when I am not really a tea person, but when I do drink tea, I do like me some, I like some either yerba mate or some lapslang. I like the roasted stuff, the smoked tea, the Chinese roasted green tea. That's good stuff. I like others too. There's other teas I like. Green tea is, is great, but I like the jasmine, the gunpowder green. I like Moroccan mint. And then, there's a lot of places. I don't know if there's places out there too. Tea is all right. It's more about the ritual of standing in the kitchen with your mates and drinking it together and chatting about random BS. Oh, okay. I could see that. It's a warm beverage, slightly flavored water. I'm sure some people, do you call your tea liquor? Because some people say, oh, yeah, the liquor color is red, the liquor color is brown. I'm like, huh? We're talking about pu'er. Well, I'm talking about pu'er. I think I'm pronouncing it right. The pu'er, there's like raw, and then there's roasted, raw, and finished pu'er. And they always refer to the liquor color as being between like brown and red or whatnot. And oh, okay, you call it brew. So what do you call coffee? Coffee? You just call coffee coffee? You want a brew or you want some coffee? I could see brew. Well, and we don't brew tea. Well, I guess we brew tea. We steep tea. But does it really matter? I guess it doesn't. Coffee or Joe? Oh, okay, at least I do. Got it. Coffee or Joe. I'm gonna have to remember that. I'm gonna forget. It's not punching me in the face hard enough to stand out. But that's good to know. That's good to know. So yeah, and in the UK, hey, do you guys got problems? Hey, let me ask you something, because there's been a whole lot. I'm gonna take this to a dark place, kind of dark, not too dark, hopefully. Recently, some new news has come about that the FBI crime statistics for the United States isn't necessarily correct, and that there's a lot of crime statistics where the good guys win, but it's not being counted. There was, for example, a guy that had a party at his house. This was last year. This guy had a party in his house, and this party, one of his guests became crazy and pulled out a gun, because I guess he had a CCW. I don't, or maybe he didn't. One of his house guests that was there pulled out a gun and started shooting people. And he shot this one guy. He shot the homeowner. I guess he hit him and it went in like right here through his ear and came out of this like cheek right here. And it went right through like the front, basically went and out. And it knocked this guy down, and I guess he thought he killed him. And this guy, when he came to, this guy was still yelling and going batshit crazy. And at that point, this guy pulled out his gun, because he was a CCW holder. Well, it was also his house. He pulled out a gun and shot and killed this guy. And this guy was able to kill, I think, 2 or 3 people at this party before he was put down like the bitch ass criminal that he is. Now, apparently, this story never made it to the mainstream news. And not only that, but it also was not, I don't know how they verified this, but this was also not included in the FBI crime stats for good guy with a gun stops bad guy with a gun. The police eventually showed up, but yeah, at that point, the threat had been neutralized. So I am curious, because I've heard it's getting worse in England, and the England is not the UK, right? UK is United Kingdom, not Ukraine. United Kingdom. That is England, right? To be honest, and you really hope you aren't offended by this, but with the current US admin, you don't really trust US statistics. We don't have gun crime in the UK really since we don't have guns. We do ever have a bunch of stabbings. That's where I was going with this. Oh, wait, as I typed this, I realized you aren't talking about the UK. No, I was going to go there. I was going to ask you. Still applies with the US statistics. They're just very skewed, aren't they? Yes, and I don't have any. If you said you don't trust, I believe you, because as it turns out, it looks like they've been hiding a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. And it seems as though they skew it to show more bad things than good things when it comes to stopping crime with guns. And it's like they're trying to like push the narrative that only the police can stop crimes, but that's not true. And now that we've got more and more people on social media and filming things, it's almost like whenever anything happens, we're all able we're all able to get better views of what's going on around us. And that's what I was going to say with the UK. People are people. They're going to do what they want. If you've got free will, you better be able to defend it. And my understanding was that in the UK, you may not have the guns, but I thought you all do have some guns. But nonetheless, I have heard that there are a lot of stabbings, machete hackings, swords. I remember a story about a woman who was crying for help because her son got attacked by a gang of other kids, and they basically pulled out swords and started hacking him up right there on the sidewalk. And there was nothing she could do. She had to sit there and basically watch and call out for help as her son got murdered in front of her. And this was like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, who knows, maybe 5 or 6, 7 years ago. But that was one of the stories that was used to say, yeah, see, they don't have guns in the UK. They don't have guns in Australia. Well, they got guns in Australia now. Well, actually. Australia's been, no one talks about it, but they've been building their gun arsenals back. But you may not have guns, public guns in the UK, but you got a lot of knives. And it doesn't matter, because if people can't get guns, they'll just use knives to do whatever malicious things they want to do. In all honesty, I think that we're going to see a lot more of this stuff, and we do see more and more of this stuff, because let's face it, there's over 8 billion people on the planet. They're not all going to be astronauts. They're not all going to be angels either. That's why I see it. So you're saying here England is a part of the UK as well, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Oh, okay. Scotland and Northern Ireland. Okay, I'm thinking of Sons of Anarchy. Oh, okay, that explains where they got that reference from. Got it. You think it's extremely skewed? Your media, by media in general, you blame 24/7 newsreels. Yeah, no doubt. You've never ever heard of anyone to the 4th degree of separation be stabbed. Our crime rate is incredibly low. Even knife crime is low by other standards, such as Northern America. You totally agree. There's many idiots about, yeah. Yeah, but we also have 300, people seem to forget too, we also have 339 million people here in America. So naturally, we're going to have a lot more violence and a lot more crazy people. And it looks like lately we've been making our own crazy people. We've got homeless people just not even wanting, or the cops don't even want to touch them. Just let them do whatever they want to do. It doesn't matter. They don't have a home. It's not going to do any good to write them a ticket. It's not illegal to be homeless. Never mind the fact that they came here because, well, we basically said we were giving everybody free needles. We're giving people free food. We're giving people handouts. We're giving people free needles. Here you go. Come eat our food, take our money, and do your drugs all for free here in California. Fucking San Francisco and Los Angeles, man. Gotta love it. You think people ignore the difference between crime and crime per capita, which is dangerous? Yes, that too. Crime per capita, yeah. Well, obviously, if you have a country where there's only 100,000 people, you're going to have low crime rates comparison to another country with like 100 million people. Yes, crime per capita for sure. And yeah, that's kind of been bothering me lately. I've seen this trend, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, wait, they've been lying to us. Hold on, they just said they're just using all of their stats, and they're saying, look, see, look at all this bad stuff and all of this good stuff. There's way more bad than good. Nothing good can happen if you're a good guy with a gun. You're most likely going to get shot by either the bad guy or the cops. But they failed to tell us that, well, we left out about half the stuff on the good guy side, but we included everything on the bad guy side. Fucking government, right? What you find crazy is how the U.S. doesn't have any social safety nets in comparison to Europe. What do you mean by that? You don't want to glaze Europe constantly, obviously. Obviously. Okay, wow. Damn, how did you find this channel? You seem to be a pretty straight shooter. I mean, and that's good. I am biased. I of course, because it's so. I just pulled this out of my cereal box this morning. Isn't it awesome? Oh, I can't wait to try it out later on. I'm kidding. Jeez. They say because it's so easy to get guns in America. No, it's not. It is fucking harder than shit. You don't want to glaze Europe constantly, obviously. It's just that there's a lot of bad news being swept over the big pond recently. Yep. Screw the government. I'm kidding. I had that built. Is that a Glock 9mm? You are very, very, very close. This So what this is, it's only in the bag because that was what. So we'll first start with this. SCT. SCT makes Glock frames. So what I did is I went to the gun store. I went to my local gun store, which is called the Second Amendment Zone out here. Well, we have a few stores, but I went and I bought this. But see, in California, let me show you how easy it is to get a gun. First of all, in California, wait, what did you say? It's only in a bag. Didn't steal it off the crime scene. No, not yet. I just put it there because I didn't have anything else for it. This is the only thing I bought online. I bought this, and then I bought this, which is the slide in the barrel, and I bought this one off of eBay. Now, this is the one. This is the registered part. This is the receiver, if you will. So because of this, the serial number is on this, and this is what is registered when you buy it. So it's registered to you. Anyways, I wanted to try one of these, so I said, okay, what do I got to do? Now, in California, or California as I call it, you have this thing. They called it the Safe Handgun Act, or the Safe Gun Act. No, it's called the Safe Handgun Act. Nothing safe about it. They basically said, in order to buy a handgun, in order to sell your handgun in California, this is the state that said it, California, the state of California. In order to sell your gun in California, and by sell, I mean, we're talking to the manufacturers. Yeah, so if you want a Glock, if you want your precious Glocks to be sold in California, you have to submit 5 of each model. You have to pay like $400 each. And you have to pay for all of the drop tests that we're going to do. You have to pay for the drop tests. You got to pay for the hammer tests. You have to have an actual safety. You have to have a loaded chamber indicator so people know that there's a bullet in the chamber. And you have to now have a magazine disconnect, which means if the magazine's out, you can't pull the trigger. So, gun manufacturers said, that's it, I'm out. That's it, I'm out. Now, before they had that, we had a list this long. Okay, see that list? That long. That's how long it was. That was how many gun models we could buy. We had about probably about, I would say about 300 plus models. We had about 300 models of firearms, handguns that we could buy. And they also said that if you're going to if you're not on the roster, because like this, you can't just buy this. This has to be made into a firearm. So they said, okay, if you want to buy a gun that's not on the list, isn't it a bit stupid to have registration number on the receiver? It's not like that's where the cartridge is. Over here, it's the barrel, which is restricted, which you guess makes sense. Is that what fires the bullet? Yes. The bullet goes inside the barrel, and and on a bullet, do I have any around here? Sounds like you've got a good general idea as to how this shit works. And I have, of course, I've got nothing here. Nothing, really? I almost always have something around. All right, so there are 4 parts, okay? 4 parts to a bullet. Well, no. There are 4 parts to a cartridge, a completed cartridge. A bullet is a projectile. So you got 4 parts. You got the brass casing that everything fits into. You got the gunpowder. You got the bullet that sits on top. And then you got a primer that sits in the back. And the gun, when you pull the trigger, it hits the primer. The primer explodes, sends fire through a thing called a flash hole. Got to watch out. Got to make sure your flash hole is kept clean. Sends fire through the flash hole. The flash hole then ignites the powder behind the bullet. And as the powder catches on fire, because it's called smokeless, or, it's slow burning powder, it's not black powder, it slowly burns and builds up pressure. And by slowly, I mean within a fraction of a second. It builds up pressure. The pressure expands the brass. That's why most cases are brass. It expands the brass. The brass clings to the chamber and opens up. And as the brass opens up, the bullet says, fuck this shit, I'm out. And it has all the power behind it, and it forces it down the barrel. And then the bullet shoots out. And then, because I'm sure you being an English chap, I'm sure you know, sir, Newton's second or third law of motion, maybe it's the first. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what they have is blowback. So what happens is the barrel, the power coming back after pushing the bullet out, it comes back, hits the back, and that is what makes the back basically slide back. The barrel stays locked in place, and that's where the spring comes in handy. This slides back, it compresses the spring, and it clears, and as it goes back, it's holding on to that shell. It pulls it out, throws it out, and goes forward, pushing another one in. That's how guns work, in a nutshell. No, that's okay. That's okay. At least you didn't call it a clip. It's all good. Culture shock, just casually looking for a bullet. Wow. So third law, yeah, okay. Oh, okay, cool. So you are aware. So that's how that works. So basically what happens is like this. Now this is basically made this was done up pre, oh, you're on Twitch too, good. YouTube, when YouTube sees I have a gun, the AI likes to cut my stream right there and then kills it. Whatever. So it's like, oh no, not live streaming. So yeah, because I'm broadcasting to YouTube too, at least for a little bit longer. So anyways, so yeah, when you pull the trigger, when you pull the trigger and it hits the bullet, yes, and it makes it. I can't do it in slow motion, but you get what I'm talking about. That's basically what happens, and then it goes forward, pushes the next round up and into it, and you're good to go. This gun is not a brand per se. It is a Glock. This is a home built, not really home built, store built. This is a commercial built Glock 43X. This frame is the same as a 43X. I only did it because I wanted to try one out. I like this frame. I heard good things about SCT. I wanted to try them. What are you saying? As an absolute beginner, it looks exactly like a 9mm Glock. It does, and it is. This is essentially, yes, you are correct in that it does use Glock mags. It is 9mm, but the frame is SCT, and the slide barrel and all of this isn't Hooper Gunworks. This is some other gun, some other parts manufacturer. For the most part, you are correct. If you call this a Glock, technically speaking, you're wrong. But for the most part, you would be correct but adjust what you say to say it is a Glock patterned pistol. This follows the pattern of a Glock. It's not a Glock. The only Glock part on here is the magazine. And because it does use Glock parts, the sights and the internals. I think these internals are probably Glock. I could be wrong. But those are the only Glock parts about this gun. Everything else, this is SCT, this is Hooper Gunworks or Titan Gunworks or whatever. Someone else. So this is all super interesting. You're very happy for the internet to tell you to experience this. What would I use it? Is it a fun? Yes. I have not shot this yet, but this is a range toy. I wanted to try this just to shoot it. It would be for fun. I wanted to try it out. Plus, it's ported. Can you see that? I don't know. Hold on here. Look at this. Shame on me. There we go. So yeah, it is ported. So I thought I would try it out. Now, we have, like I said, we have these really stupid rules. So in California, in order to buy this, they've got to put a barrel insert in here that sticks out the front. And it has to be at least 7 inches long. And with that barrel insert, it changes the caliber to 25 caliber. Now, as you buy this is just for this gun, but it's very similar for a lot of other guns. Hold on here. It's been bugging the hell out of me. So you cannot just buy this. No, can't buy it. That's illegal. You cannot buy. I could buy this off of a friend if he already had this registered to him. That's not a problem. But in order to get this from a gun store is an FFL holder, a federal firearms license. I have an FFL too, but mine isn't for selling. Mine's for curios and relics. But basically, I bought it so I could have ammunition delivered to my house. In order to get this, I had to have them manufacture this, and they had to declare that this was a single-shot pistol. And the only way that you can guarantee that this was a single-shot pistol is by putting a different barrel in here. Well, putting a barrel insert in this and having it stick out. And they have them, because I have one in the other room. And by changing the caliber to 25 instead of 9mm, I hope I'm not yelling too loud. I'm sorry, that's these headphones. By changing the caliber to 25 caliber, this is a 9mm. This does not fit that caliber. This will not hold 25 rounds. It will not feed 20. This does not hold 25 caliber. It will not feed 25 caliber. Therefore, this gun has been reduced to a 25 caliber single shot pistol. That is what it started life as. Don't worry, the volume is perfect. Good, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. So that's what this gun started life as, a 25 caliber single shot. Once I got done paying for it and I came back to pick it up, then basically we took it apart. took out the barrel. Weird. Took it out, took out the barrel, pulled out the insert, and now it's a 9mm. And it runs. And now it's a semi-automatic 9mm. And there's nothing illegal about that. That's the way the law was written. They said if you have a single shot, you can, the law initially had all these restrictions, and then it said, and then what people were doing was they were going to the store, they were getting longer barrels, they were getting all these parts, putting them on all these semi-automatic guns, modifying them so that they fit the specs. They put a sled in. A sled would be like a solid mag. It only holds one round, and they would put a sled in so that it only held one round, and then it only had the ability to shoot once before you got to put your other round in yourself, and that was the way around the law. And then what they were doing was they were making a semi-automatic into a single shot and then changing it back into a semi-automatic. Well, the politicians, being assholes that they are, decided, well, that's not good. Hold on, what are you saying? Don't worry, the volume. So all of the regs are absolutely useless and are basically just point of sale rules. Yes. What are your thoughts on 3D printed guns? I think they're personally pretty neat from an engineering standpoint. Give me a second when you read this. I'll grab another beer. Give me a second when you read this. I'll grab another beer. We're going to have a fun day today, folks. You know what? We're not just going to have... If you're going to grab a beer, folks, I'll tell you what. Okay, 1 second. Hey, I'll be right back, too. I'm going to grab something, too. Ugh. Let's see here. Nope. Ugh. All right. I really need to clean this place up. Oh my God, this thing weighs a ton. Ugh. Ugh. What do we got here? 360 Mark II. Oh, I heard someone's back. Weird. Ugh. Okay. All right, folks. Okay. Yeah, I went to grab a couple things too. So, yeah, you could say this is a Glock 9mm, but this is really meant more for concealed carry, but I haven't shot it. I don't know how reliable it is. And right now it's just a range toy. Until I actually get it to the range and test it out. And the one thing I have a problem with this is the mag release. The mag release, it needs to be, I think, a little, I want to get the extended mag release for it. So I did pick up a red extended mag release, but I'm waiting for a tool to show up because it's kind of a pain to take out the mag spring and do that. So there's that. Now, that was how you're able to get this gun, and a lot of them. The politicians saw people doing this and a lot more people talking about it, and the politicians got pissed off because, God damn it, they made the rules and people found ways around them. No, we found ways to comply. Didn't matter. They said, no, too many people are abusing this. This wasn't what it was meant to be. So they changed the rules again. And they said, now, if you're going to buy a pistol that's off roster, and by the way, here's how off roster works. It only matters when you buy it brand new. If you buy that gun used, you can buy it from anybody. I mean, as long as it's a legal purchase. Don't buy it stolen, obviously. But I mean, if you buy that gun off of your friend who, all right, hey, I don't want this anymore. You want it? Yeah, I'll take it. He can sell to you. There's no restrictions, no problem. In whatever, as long as it's not illegal, like, oh, it's got a threaded barrel, it's an assault pistol, whatever. So as long as it fits the normal conditions, semi-automatic, whatever, as long as it's not a fully automatic, which we don't really have a lot of, and those are illegal pretty much. The Gun Control Act or the Machine Gun Act of like 1986 or 87 pretty much made it unlawful for any civilians to own machine guns that were manufactured after 1987 or something like that. So a lot of the machine guns that are in circulation, people own them, but they're like super expensive. You want to buy a machine gun in America, you can buy one. It's going to cost you about $30,000 or more, but you could buy one. So, wait, threaded barrels make it an assault weapon. That's fucking stupid. It's a gun anyway. Doesn't matter if you have threaded. Correct. Okay. Now, this is only in California that I'm talking about. Other states, they don't care about threaded barrels, but this is what California is worried about. Ugh. Motherfucker. Because, fuck your hearing, these are illegal in California. Threaded barrels, oh no, we know what threaded barrels do. They allow people to put silencers on their guns, and then they're ultra quiet, and you can't hear where they're coming from. And when you pull the trigger and shoot, it sounds like choop, 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 just like you hear in all the Hollywood movies. So, because threaded barrels allow you to put suppressors on your firearms, on your pistols, because threaded barrels on pistols allow you to put suppressors on them, those are illegal in California. I fucking kid you not. This is the retard level of the politicians in this state. Now, there are many other states where there are no problems. Let me see here. There are, booster. That one's for the Glocks. My bad. So yeah, there's all kinds of cool ones, and I've got some stuff with threaded barrels, and I've got some guns that I actually do have threaded barrels for, but I can't put them on legally, so I leave them off. But hey, when the shit hits the fan, or I just don't give a shit, threaded barrels are coming out. Now I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to read it anyways. Okay, it doesn't matter if you have to throw the barrel. The whole silencer thing is so funny. You're so skewed by Hollywood. Yeah, it's so skewed by Hollywood. Just because you won't get instant hearing damage doesn't mean they're silent. Yeah. Tell that to the idiotic politicians. They don't. These guys, okay. I'm sure you may have heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was the governor of California at one point. Because they either got this idea from a movie or I forgot what, but some California senators brought it to his attention, and I fucking wish I was kidding. Hold on. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. Okay. Why? That was in 2004. Okay, hold on here. Not. Let me see here. No longer in possession. Okay, let me see. According to the GL, there are no instances. Okay, so here's the deal. Barrett has okay. So here's what happened. See, this is the yeah, so I don't think it was because of Waco. Maybe it was. But what I've heard was because some senators got it in their heads, California senators, that you could shoot down a jumbo jet with a 50 caliber BMG, a 50 BMG Browning machine gun round, which typically is a bolt action firearm. Because you could shoot an airplane out of the sky with one, that is reason enough to ban it. You know, I think we need to sue to get that ban overturned as well. Because if I recall correctly, there were no airplanes back in the 1700s. And since there were no airplanes, there was no need to have a ban on 50 BMGs. God, I wish I was making this shit up. But yeah, Mr. Stone, and how is it? How are you today? So the whole silencer thing is funny. Okay, yeah. So you decided to game with a. Hey, no, you know what, Mr. Stone? Today's going to be a short day, anyways. I mean, I'm not going to be on till like 8 or 9 because I got to go to work today. Right now, I am having a nice conversation with our friend Personal Vortex. And Personal Vortex is in the UK. He's out there with Sticks. Well, not really with Sticks. Sticks is 1 hour. Sticks is in one time zone over, I believe. So we're just kind of talking about guns today. But the law was passed by Schwarzenegger in 2004 that banned the use of 50 BMG. Now, a 50 BMG rifle is going to cost around $7,500 or more, which actually by today's standards, that's not a lot. Because this gun right here, this guy cost me only, I think I paid $590 or around $590 for this. That's not bad. So that's about the same price as a Glock. But then we got these guys. I forgot what's in here. I think it's the platypus. Oh, yes. My Stealth Arms platypus. This gun had to come had to be ordered and shipped here as a single shot. I had them build it up, and this is essentially a 2011. This is a 2011 that uses Glock mags. So as long as you got Glock mags, you're good. I gotta put my Kraken sight on here. But this is a range toy, but you could use it to defend yourself. You know, there's a lot of nice things about this. This has a nice feel to it. I really like it. I did a great job with this guy. But that wasn't what I was gonna point out. Ooh. Yeah, so primer, bullet, case, and inside is all the powder. To illustrate what I was talking about. And no, I'm not going to set one of these off right now. For anyone. Wait, so just for your understanding, the single shot thing can be circumvented by a really easy work. Yes and no. Yes, but not all guns. See? Hold on. Okay. So, yes. In the case of some guns, yes. Platypus is made by Stealth Arms. Stealth Arms has a and for your so you know, here's your Glock 9mm right here. This you can get. This was legal for purchase already. No workaround needed. But if I wanted to get, but this is a Gen 3. Here's the thing that sucks about Glocks in California. You're stuck with Gen 3. They're up to Gen 4, Gen 5, and now like a new Gen 6. Gen 3 Glocks was the last one to make it, and these guys were grandfathered in. Glocks were grandfathered in to the law to being legal to purchase because without having all these new requirements put on them because they were already here and so many people already owned them. Overactive imagination here. Personal vertices. Yeah, watch it. He's got higher training than us. He's in the UK. So in this case, Stealth Arms, no, Glock is kind of a large manufacturer. They deal with all 50 states. They don't have the tooling or the time to stop and take some Gen 4 or Gen 5 Glocks and designate them as single shots and modify them and ship them over here as single shot pistols. They don't have the time or the desire to do that. It's going to cost them more money to do that than it would to sell them. So they're not going to do it. But this gun, which started life as a single shot because this was manufactured almost all by hand. This was made by Stealth Arms, and Stealth Arms said, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that for you. But this gun took 16 weeks to get here. Now, what Stealth Arms has also done, they started making a lot of these guns, single shots. And they just started making them ahead of time, and they actually ship them out here ahead of time. But the problem with those is they're all black. And there's nothing wrong with black guns, except people are afraid of black guns. If you have a gun that's not black, statistics show not as many people are afraid of it. People don't see you as an enemy as soon as you pull it out of your pocket. It's not black. It's okay. It's a knee-jerk reaction that people have out here. That is why... that is... I wish I was making this shit up. That is why a lot of guns, especially smaller pistols and rifles, are no longer black. Yeah. Now, you want to see another pistol? Here's a pistol. Because by the ATF's definitions, this is a pistol. It's got a pistol brace. This is not a buttstock. I know it extends, but this is a brace, not a stock. So this is a pistol. But because this pistol has the magazine forward of the handle, because the magazine is not in the handle like a regular pistol, this magazine has to stay locked to this gun. And you basically have to, in order to get this gun open, you basically have to crack the action, and then you can eject the mag and pop it out. But the mag you put in here could only hold 10 rounds. As long as I'm in this state anyways. Roll the credits. So, yeah. So we have this as a pistol. Go figure. Now, if that was not happy enough, this is the pistol I built before that. This pistol shoots 5.56, but this is a pistol as well. And this is really weird because this magazine, it has to stay locked to this gun until I let me see here. Digga. Thank you. Yes, I actually have a shorter brace for this. This is about this brace. I bought it on accident. No, I bought it, but I should have bought the shorter one, but I didn't. I actually have the shorter brace. It's about 1.5 inches shorter. So this is like my micro pistol. But this, I mean, it's a brace. It's not a buttstock. Nothing illegal about it. As long as I can close it. Ah, there we go. So yeah, but here's the deal. When I'm at the range, I don't have to take this apart to do it. So Comp Mag has a Comp Mag they made. Comp Mag, push it down all the way, then put in 10 rounds, close it, and you're good to go. But they don't do this for everything, just like the real popular stuff, because people like these. And before that, the original pistol I had was right here. Well, this is actually like the third pistol, but this is like the second AR pistol that I had. You can tell it's a lot bigger. These are getting bigger. So this one here, this is a side cocker. Oh, hold on. I don't smell it anymore. Weird. But yeah. All perfectly normal to shoot. And in any other state, there's nothing wrong with any of those. You could use them with no problem. But here in California, you got to have locks on them and do all this other stupid shit. That does not look like it. Wait, which one are you talking about? Because, yeah, but see, here's the thing. Let's talk about even the biggest one. Okay, so the barrel is under 16 inches. Now, if this was a barrel that was under 16 inches and this were a stock, if this here were a buttstock, this would be called an SBR, a short-barreled rifle. But this is a brace, not a stock. So this is called a pistol. You see how easy that is? Pistols are not illegal. But if this was a buttstock, that would be illegal. You cannot have that. Well, now I think they've gotten rid of that language. Finally. But in California, California specifically says if you have a rifle and that rifle barrel is less than 16 inches, that's illegal. Retard alert, retard alert. I know, right? This guy doesn't have a sight on it. I don't think. And the way I always tell people to use a pistol is put it in all the way, put your arm against it, and grab it, and you can actually, in some cases, pull out. You can pull out, and you can actually have it lock on to your hand, but you can pull out. Anyways, you can shoulder it too, I guess, but I don't recommend you do that. In all honesty, this really just makes it feel a little better, and it gives it a little more the ability to stand up on its own. So, the one thing to do though, like on this guy here, there's a sling back here. Get yourself on your little guys. Get yourself a single point sling. Attach it and let it hang. And when you want to use it, you pull it up and you push forward. You push forward. It actually gets you a really nice rigid setup, so you can push forward against it and you can use it to aim. And it actually works pretty good. Now, I'll tell you right now, I'm betting you YouTube has already taken my video off the live stream right now. So, didn't say they have, let's see, didn't they ban bump stocks? Yeah, I think yes, they did, because of that asshole in Las Vegas. But was he really an asshole? I mean, let's face it, he was shooting up country music. Okay, that was, what, not too soon? Too soon? I always joke at work, well, it was country music. Can we really blame the guy? I mean, all the country music is a bunch of wailing pussies that are bitching about their dog, their truck, or their woman. That's all the country music ever seems to be about. A dog, a truck, or someone's woman. Come on, guys. Get some new ideas in country. I would have shot you. No, I'm kidding. Jeez. That was a joke for the AI. For the AI calculus there. For the AI genius that runs around on YouTube. So yeah. As long as you get me one of those little pistols. Yeah, you know, I don't know what the laws are, but I'll tell you what. You guys in England or in the UK, in some parts of England, okay, I don't know the gun laws, but my understanding was when you buy a gun, they almost offer you a suppressor for free. I shouldn't say for free. They offer you a suppressor. So that way, when you're shooting it in your backyard, you don't disturb your neighbors. That was what I was told. They don't do that here. Here, if you want a suppressor, you have to get fingerprinted. You have to go through you got to get fingerprinted. You got to go through about a 6-month. I'm exaggerating. You got to get fingerprinted. You got to go through a 6-month FBI background check, and you got to have a live scan and submit like all this other information and pay like an extra $50, $60. Fill out an e-form, and then you got to wait. Because is it? Oh man, just my luck. Just my luck. Those assholes fucking took my. Let's see. Did they say it? Well, they're not. I didn't see anything from YouTube telling me yet. Wait, hold on. What is this? This is at 108. Nope. They haven't told me it's been canceled yet, so maybe that's a good thing. Because I know I bitched at them last time. I got really bitchy and said, "What the fuck, guys? You took down my stream? Why? Because I can't hold a gun? I'm doing it on Twitch. I've been doing it for years." Anyways, wife ran with dog. Get my pickup truck. Yeah, it's funny how that isn't a thing over here. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? You know what? It's kind of like, well, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I'm kind of numb to some of the violence, but I still know what's right from wrong, and I know once you shoot somebody, there's no coming back from that. I really wanted to put a stat track. Speaking of Counter Strike, I yeah. Speaking of speaking of Counter Strike, I really did want to put a stat track on some of my guns. I wanted to get a stat track counter, but then I had to stop and think about it. This isn't about how many players I've killed. That would be like real people I killed. Why the fuck would I? Why the fuck would I look to try and get a stat track put on my gun? And I had to stop and think. What the fuck, man? Some of these games, it's crazy. Yeah. So, there's some, I don't know, there's a bunch of bullshit going around. And it basically, when it comes down to it, this is the way of the world. Guns have two enemies: rust and politicians. Take care of your gun to the best that you can, and you can usually keep the rust off of it. But even a little bit of rust isn't really too bad. But politicians, on the other hand, they don't give a shit. And a lot of politicians think they're gods. So we'll make the pen is mightier than the sword. Yeah, the pen is mightier than the sword until the sword gets tired of doing what the pen tells it to do. And then the sword chops the penis off the pen. And then you're no longer going to have a pen that's functional. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens then. Yeah. Oh shit. Are we getting you too drunk? I is this hard to take? You got to take it with a grain of you got to take it with a grain of hops. Sorry, that's my best beer joke right now. I don't drink beer myself. I'm a coffee guy. I like alcohol on occasion, but I'm going to be honest, I really haven't had alcohol for about since I've been trying to clean my shit up. I haven't I don't drink. I'm not a big I like to take swigs of whiskey every now and then. I like the garbage stuff. I really like the screwball, which is the peanut butter whiskey. Oh my god, that is with the sheep on it. I love the sheep. What can I say? Not like the Arab way, not the Indian Arab way, but I like the look of the sheep. It's just kind of funny looking at the drawn rounded sheep on the label. That's all I'm saying. Take it with a grain of hops. You can have that. Big respect for not drinking. You like the buzz, but that's not. Yeah. You know what? Even when I'm gonna be honest. I'm one of those asshole douchebags that says, "Oh no, I don't drink beer. I don't like the taste." I realized later on, you don't drink beer for the taste. You drink beer to get drunk. Oh, okay. Well, I still don't like the taste. Sorry. I have never been drunk. However, I have made I did get a little I I have been a little tipsy once. I drank about a quarter cup I drank about a quarter cup of my apple pie moonshine that I made. Now, before we go on into moonshines, this isn't a real moonshine. That was the name of it. The name is Apple Pie Moonshine. The full name is Humble Vets Apple Pie Moonshine. It used to be on a website called goodoldways.net, something like that. But it's been taken down. You might be able to find it. It's basically you mix white grape juice with apple cider, you mix that on a pot, you cook it, you add in like 7 cups of sugar, you throw in some cinnamon sticks, not cinnamon, ground cinnamon, but cinnamon sticks. You mix it up, and then you let it cool down. And when it's cooled down to about room temperature, then you take in Everclear 190 proof, and pour that in. Let me see. It's more of a liqueur. Oh, look at that. Here you go. Copy. There we go. There we go. So, oh, you guys are talking up a storm. Let me tell you, friends. Let me make it clear you don't smoke pot. Yeah. Sounds like some lyrics here. Maybe ain't that. It's a country song. Ah, you're a German living in the UK. You get lynched for not liking beer. Yeah. Replying to, it's true that the German women. I had grape. I had what? You had a grape moonshine? You had grape moonshine from Albania once. That shit tasted like diesel and was served in a Spitfire bottle with the label crossed out with 3 X's. Wow, I've only seen that stuff in cartoons. That's great. So we have some of the best women in the world. Come and see. The French, though. Wait, hold on. Finish that thought with the French. Are the French just hotter, or are they just like... I'm not going to say smellier, because that's a personal hygiene thing. Do the French use deodorant? Do they stink? What were you going to say? The French are hotter, or the French are not as hot? Because I've seen some French women, and I think some French women are pretty... You know what? I'll be honest. I really don't care. I really don't care what nationality a woman is. A lot of women are hot in their own ways, but there's certain features that I'm drawn to. Eyes, eyebrows. If the eyebrows are too thick or too bushy, it's like, whoa, stay the fuck away. You know, if you look like John Madden, if you look like the female version of John Madden with caterpillar eyebrows, stay the fuck away. That's scary shit to me right there. But, you know, a little thinner, like there's one woman who I rented when I was renting my car, when I went to turn it back to get a different one. She was young, but it looked like she had almost sculpted her face, and her eyebrows were like, they were like thick, and then they went tapered down, and they went ring, ring, you know, whatever. But she had some sexy ass eyes. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I was like, damn. And anyways, her name was Olivia. And Olivia, to me, is kind of like an older woman's name. But this girl, she must have been like, for legalities reasons, we'll say she must have been like 21. She must have been 18 and a half, 19, maybe 21. We'll say, in all honesty, she looked about maybe 23, 24. But damn. She was hot. I liked her. But then again, I like a lot of, you know, there's girls that are probably a little on the chubby side that I kind of like too, but it's usually because of their face. When I look at a woman, the first thing I look, hold on a second. Stop. Take a step back. Realize what you almost said and who your audience is. And don't say this out. Fuck me. So my point is, I find a reason to like a lot of people, and I make excuses to like a lot of people. I don't mind, you know, if a woman, you know, she may have a little extra junk in the trunk. She may have a little pock mark right here, or maybe even over here. And when she turns her head or whatever, you know, but if she's got those fucking angled jaw lines and shit that come out here and go this way, fuck no, danger, Will Robinson. That shit, I'm turning, I'm fucking out. I'm gone. Fuck this shit, I'm out. But it's crazy, you know, the things that attract me and the things that repulse me. It's really weird. But again, it's centered on a woman's face. If there's other parts of her that really stand out, it depends on how they stand out before I ignore the face. Because I look at the face and I think, is that a face that I could be seen next to? Is that a face that I like? Is that face nice and pleasing and soft around the edges? Okay, we're cool. I'm down with that. So, what are we talking now? Let's see here. The French different. The guys are good. Oh, wait, hold on. So you're saying the French are different. The guys are good. If only I were into them. French women, however, are not my type. Okay, we can leave it there if you want. That recipe looks absolutely delicious. You'd buy that for $1. Hey, you know what? You could probably make that too. You just got to get some Everclear 190. But the thing is, you got to let it sit. I didn't read the link, but if that is what it is, it should say that once you're done making it, you got to let it sit just let it sit and mellow for about 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I think you can drink it. And I'll be honest, I made that shit back in 2012. I still have it in the kitchen. I made a lot of it. I made so much of it that I actually had to refill. I ran out of mason jars and I started refilling the Everclear 190 bottles. So I've even made it with lingonberry from IKEA. Yeah, I called it IKEA Shine. But this website was called Good Old Ways, and it had a guy this recipe called Humble Vet's Apple Pie Moonshine. And the cool thing about it was there was a lot of recipes there, and I grabbed a lot and I saved them. I don't know where they're at, but I grabbed them and saved them. The website's gone now, but that was one of, at least they must have had about probably 30 plus different moonshine recipes. That one was one of the best ones. Everyone loved the apple pie. The other version of that is actually peach pie. In all honesty, people love peach pie. It seems even better. Simply replace the apple juice with white peach juice or peach juice, whatever, juice of peaches. Usually, you just go and buy the peach juice shit, Mott's or whatever. Try and get 100%, or try and get the sweetened stuff. Replace the apple juice with the peach juice, and you don't have to add in like all the butter, rum, and everything else. But people, and I will say that's actually a very refreshing. It is a very nice and refreshing beverage. Just don't drink it right before going on a drive or drink it before going to work. Because I drank like a quarter cup one night and it made me tipsy. I mean, I think I was tipsy. I was, but then again, I've never been drunk. So, and I've never really been buzzed. Maybe I was buzzed that night. Maybe. So, but you got to get back to work. Take care. Everyone's safe. All right. All right, Mr. Stone, you have yourself a good one. Thanks for stopping in, sir. That was only 5 minutes ago. In Europe, we call that danger look, the MAGA look, because, look at those people. Nice. We call that danger look. Nice. Care to send some of that good 12 stuff over here? Care to send some of that good old 12 stuff? You know what? Can I? I mean, I wouldn't have any problems. I love to share it, and I don't really need it, but I wouldn't have any problems sending it to you. Would it go through customs okay? I mean, does it, it would go through customs, right? What would I'd have to declare it something, huh? I wouldn't have any problem though. Alert, we have officially run out of beer at my desk. The fridge stock is now healthy. It's still healthy. I wouldn't mind at all. It'd be easier if it was within the United States, but going overseas, cross country, I don't think there'd really be a problem. Yeah, I don't think there would be. You have to look at customs. I mean, you'd have to have a look at customs. You'd obviously pay for shipping, and you have. Well, that is awfully nice of you. I wasn't even thinking enough there yet. The short answer is sure. I got no problems. Hell, I may even stick it. I just got to make sure. I just have to make sure that I package it up properly and so that it doesn't leak anywhere, because I do not want that happening. I'd hate to have you get something and it's leaked all over the place. But that shouldn't be too hard to do. I imagine I can find ways to seal up a bottle and make sure it doesn't leak. Shouldn't be too difficult. The caps aren't the best. I would keep it in the same bottle just so it's somewhat authentic. I also have the mason jars. Those are probably okay as well. But I don't know what it would cost to ship. But if you are indeed serious, and it looks like 79% certain that you are serious, I say sure. Let me see here. We're gonna have to figure out the logistics. I don't know if I can FedEx it. Let me ask. Let me see if I can FedEx Internet. I don't know what FedEx International, but I might have access to an account to FedEx it International. So if I could FedEx International, then that would be great. Um, I don't know what customs would do. I don't. Hopefully your customs isn't like California, and I don't really know that anything's been blocked here in California. But then again, I've never really ordered anything that I thought was borderline or illegal or whatever. So packaging shouldn't be a problem. We could package that sucker up real nice, wrap it in bubble wrap once or twice, tape all around the hand or all around the top. That is definitely a possibility. Um, send me a whisper on where you want it to, and I'll start talking. Or send me a whisper reminding me, and I will talk to. I will. I'll talk to. I'll get a photo and show you what it looks like because it's in the other room. But I'm gonna have to hunt. It's either on top of my fridge or it's down below on the bookcase, and I think it's down below on the bookcase. That's where the apple is, anyways. But yeah, that'd be a genuine unreal. Your housemate. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know if it sounds like your housemate is probably a male, I'm guessing. Watch out because this stuff is definitely a panty dropper. And if you're a lightweight, you'll definitely be getting shit faced. But I'll send you, I'm not even going to send you a little. I'll send you like the 32-ounce bottle that I got. I still got like I think I still have 2 or 3 of those. I'll send you one. I don't know what flavor it is. It's either going to be peach or it's going to be apple or it's going to be butter apple. But it'll be one of those 3 flavors, I believe. And if it's dark, then that means it's probably going to be plum, which is like Jolly Rogers, people say it tastes like. But I'm not going to send you that. I'm going to do what I can to get you a golden one. Okay. Oh, okay. Bachelor pad is you okay? Well, that's cool. That's cool. That's good. All right. Let me look into it, and by all means, hold me accountable. I know now. This is now Faminator. If you're out there watching, and I don't think you are right now, but Faminator, if you come across this has nothing to do with me talking to you about adopting you as my son. This is completely separate, and this is alcohol we're talking about. Has to do with alcohol and shipping alcohol. So Faminator, that's an inside joke Faminator and I have, as I keep telling him, I got your papers right here. I just gotta send it out to you. Anyways, I haven't sent him the adoption papers, so only Faminator. That's all I can afford right now. And I'm still trying to figure out how to get him into the United States. Just kidding. Oh, don't let him hear me say that. So yeah, but I got no problems because it's like, in all honesty, I don't know that I'm ever gonna drink that stuff, and I feel bad. But the chemist in me loves to make it, and I make all kinds of crazy things sometimes. But like the chemist in me loves to make it, but I don't drink it all. And my wife, she had no problems. She used to actually take it. She'd take like a bottle to a she'd take a bottle out to like the friends, or she'd take a bottle to a party that she'd go to, and they would partake in it, and they enjoyed it. But yeah, I wasn't there, so I didn't get to see. But if I know that I could ship some happiness to you and you get it and you actually enjoy it, And there will be some sediment on the bottom, just so you know, but that's because when I bottled it up into all of the bottles, I took one of those sticks of cinnamon and threw it in there as well. So the cinnamon may kind of like be falling apart at this point, maybe partly disintegrated, but the cinnamon is there. All you want is the new Christine. You'll take the pictures. All right, cool, cool. You'll make sure to send you pictures. Oh, sounds good. All right. Well, let me see here. Yeah, give me. Let me see here. Find out what shipping address you're gonna want, and whisper it to me. Whisper it to me. Yeah. Find out what shipping address that you want it sent to, and whisper it to me. It doesn't have to be today because it's not going to get sent out today. Today's Friday. But if I get the green light and I'm told, yeah, there's not a problem, well, I'll find out if you're willing to pay. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I will gladly pay half the cost of shipping. I don't know what it's going to cost to ship it, but that's not going to break me. So you being with you being young lads, I know you don't always got the most money around. So maybe it would be nice for me to demonstrate a little more of my generosity, maybe some of my generous charitability, and maybe I can actually send it to you and maybe have your reducing or maybe have your shipping reduced by half. And there we have it. And there we have it, lad. Now, if Tom were here, he'd be like, what the fuck was that? Oh, thank you, lad. I appreciate it. It's nice being appreciated from time to time. Always have money for booze. You're trying to send your right now. It's been ages since you used Twitch. You need to verify an email. I haven't used in 5. Let me see here. Hold on. Haha. Oh shit, that didn't send. Oh, that did send. There we go. You also know who the other Tom is, but you're also a Tom. So it sends a jolt. Tom. Oh, we had a guy. We had a guy at work. See, I'm a contractor, and I work with trains. And we had a guy at work. He was one of the chief dispatchers, and his name was Tom. I forgot his last name. I mean, I'd have to stop and think about it, but his name was Tom. And every now and then there's several accents that I can do, or several accents. I always like to practice. I always like to talk. I like to use different voices from time to time. And sometimes I like to talk. Oh my god! Oh my goodness! I have lost my Indian accent. I don't know what I'm saying. Or sometimes I like to talk like an Indian, but I can't always talk like an Indian because, well, when I'm at work, I work with Lebanese Indians sometimes, and they might get a little mad at me. So because of that, I don't always, and I cannot do an accent right now. Wow. Oh no, this is this is not a very good thing. Anyways, one night I came out of my office and I said, "Hi lad, what are we gonna do for dinner tonight?" And one of the dispatchers, brother, I almost didn't recognize you. And then Tom was like, what the hell was that? I said, what, lad? You don't understand English or you don't hear me through my accent? And he said, what kind of fucking accent is that? I said, I don't know, lad, but I think it might be kind of Scottish. And he said, that is not Scottish. I said, well, I'm sorry, lad, but maybe you can tell me better. And anyways, yeah, we kind of went back and forth. He never did his Scottish accent. And if I could do a proper Scottish accent, I'd sound more like Sean Connery. I almost said Sean Penn. Oh, whoa, what an insult. I would sound like Sean Connery if I could, but I know I sound nothing like Sean Connery. So yeah. Do you happen to work in any IT related? Yes. Yes, I actually do work behind the scenes. And okay, have you heard of PTC? That's really sad that I have to bring up PTC, by the way. But if you've heard of PTC, I'll leave it at that, because if you've heard of PTC, well, anyways, I don't know. I know that trains are big in Europe. There's trains all over the place. Europe, I would think, would have PTC. And in the UK, I'd imagine there'd be a lot of PTC as well. For those of you that don't know what PTC is, PTC for PLM, I don't know what PLM is. But PTC stands for Positive Train Control, which is actually an oxymoron, because there's nothing positive about train control. What PTC is a giant brake on a computer that controls the trains. So when PTC finds something it doesn't like or it has a problem, it hits the brakes. If it doesn't know where it's at, it hits the brakes. If the engineer's going too fast, it hits the brakes. Oh yeah, not the same. PLM is Product Lifecycle Management. Oh, yeah, it's funny. These acronyms can mean for so many different things, right? So yeah, gotta love trains. Yep, yep. There's when you actually start learning more about trains and you work with them, you'll realize they're not the untamed giant metal beasts that people make them out to be. They're actually very nice. They're very nice creatures, and you can get up to them and pet them, and they won't kill you. It's really cool. But just don't park a car in front of one when it's coming down the rails, because they love to charge. So yeah, also don't know who the other time was. Okay. So yeah. So anyways, I'm one of the guys behind the scenes that when shit goes wrong, you call me, and then I got to figure something out. I got to do the logistics and get people sent out to different places to have a look, to do inspections, to test, to fix things. When you see people drive through the gates and break them, yeah, we got to call the people out to go and fix that. So just got to give them favorite snack and approach them from their POV. Yeah, that sounds about right. You pretty much got to do that. You got to respect for the trains. If you don't respect the trains, they're going to get you. And they're going to teach you about respect. There's, in my closure every day, I always talk, about how there are over 8 billion people on the planet. Some of these people, they're going to get hit by a train, and others need to get hit by a train. I don't take that back. That's, but the sad news about that is, man, when people want to kill themselves, they want to off themselves, and they jump in front of a train, that is a fucking day ruiner for a lot of folks. Now, that doesn't just stop that one train. That stops every train on the line, because trains can't really pass unless there's double tracks. And even if there's double tracks, trains can't really pass because there's emergency personnel and vehicles that are there at that location walking over the tracks and running back and forth. So whenever anyone jumps in front of a train, that's one thing that's probably one of the most selfish things. That's one of the most selfish forms of suicide that you could commit, is to jump in front of a train. Because when a train hits you and they stop, all those passengers are going to be delayed by a couple of hours at least. Yeah, it's always, we got to wait for the coroner to show up. You got to hit the brakes. You got to figure out where the hit was or where the strike was. Was the strike in the crossing or outside of the crossing? Was it within 50 feet of the crossing? You got to figure out how fast the train was going. Then it's like, okay, was this preventable or was it suicide? Now you got to get compliance out. They got to look at the video on the train in the from the video camera in the front. Any other videos in the area? We got to look at that. Did they hit him at a high rate of speed? Are there body parts all over the place? People love to see that. So now we got to get hazmat out there. They've got to go pick up all the body parts. You can't just walk over and start putting shit in the bag. Well, I mean, you can once you're properly suited up. But in the meantime, everyone's outside, depending on where the train's at. Everyone, there could be crowds gathering, all, filming it, putting the shit on chaotic.com, because everyone wants to see, oh, look, this guy got hit by a train. They want to see the body parts smeared across the side. So, they want to see his brains all over the place. People are just fucking ruthless today, man. So just got to give them the favorite. Yeah, we have so many lovely little old train lines here. It's so nice to see them just run past. Well, that's good. I'm glad. If people know how to respect trains and you know how to live your life around them, that's great. But other people, they just don't give a fuck. Out here in California, there's a lot of people that are just impatient. And I guess there's probably a few of them out there in the UK as well. People get tired of waiting. Damn it, these gates are down. I don't see a train. I'm going. And then all of a sudden, from around the corner, here comes a train. Yeah, we get that out here from time to time. And in some cases, yeah, near miss. We hear a lot of trains. They just hit the brakes. They just slammed on the brakes, came to a screeching halt to avoid hitting somebody. Gotta love it. So, little train lines out there, though. That's nice. So you probably have like a bunch of light rail. Are they the ones with the cables on top? They get the power from the cables? Light rail seems like a lot of fun. We got those running around out here too. A train driver who had a jumper in 21 and he still fucked up from it. Wow. Young lass just after his daughter was born. You feel, wow. Yeah, that is sad. That's yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely if you're watching that shit, it's definitely an image that will haunt you. That's if you've ever seen any of that footage, that is definitely an image that will haunt for the rest of your life, or at least for a very long time. Nah, they're still old diesel, and in some case coal trains. Oh, okay, no cables here. Wow, old diesel. That's not bad. Coal trains. Coal trains are always cool. Those coal trains would be steam engines, I believe. We had steam engines. We don't typically run steam engines anymore because in order to steam engines require a lot of maintenance. The diesel engines and the newer trains especially, they actually are all electric. Today if you buy a new diesel locomotive, well, it would probably be like an electric locomotive. But it's funny because, yeah, it's an electric motor, but it gets its power from the battery, and the battery, it's constantly being charged by the generator, and the generator runs on diesel. The generator is a 4,400 horsepower diesel generator, and it charges up the battery, and the battery gives the power to the, oh my, it's a diesel locomotive, folks. No, it's not. It's electric. All right, whatever. You think what makes the image so terrible is that the driver can see things happening, but there's nothing they can do. There's too much inertia that people are doomed, and the moment they step on the, yeah, for sure. And you'd be surprised how fast. It looks like these trains don't go fast, but I'll tell you, man, it is like, it's like baseball. It's like hitting a baseball with a baseball bat. If you got the speed, you're sending that ball flying. But also, if you've got the mass, you're sending that ball flying. But a lot of times, you need a lot more speed if you're going to have that mass. You need a lot more power for that mass. I don't know. Hold on. I just derailed that one. No pun intended. Okay, there was a pun intended. People just don't understand sometimes. Yeah, you walk in front of a train doing like 35, 40 miles an hour. Actually, I shouldn't say that. We had a train hit somebody and send her flying. She was a homeless person. She got hit by the train the first day that the new line started out out in one city, a local city. Train tracks had been there for years, but hey, look, we just got commuter service running. And on the first day, they hit somebody, sent her ass flying into the bushes. They only hit her doing 25 miles an hour. She got up and ran off or hobbled off or whatever. They found her about an hour or two later in a homeless encampment. Yeah, she was a homeless. Didn't have anywhere to go. So she went back to her tent, I guess. I don't know. Whatever happened. I don't know. But she didn't die. Not even any blood, of my understanding. But, they bumped her. They gave her a love tap. And, but, the other day, coming into a station, they hit somebody. Not in the station. They were outside of the station. They were doing 58 miles an hour. 58 miles an hour, man, that makes your body explode. You get hit by a 208-ton monster at 58 miles an hour. Yeah, there's not going to be much of you left. Well, there will be. It'll be parts of you over here and underneath. And you want to know what's really bad? What I don't know all the details of what I don't know the details of this person that you said, of the engineer that saw that, but I'll tell you one more detail that might that might explain why. Hold on here. What did you say? Train going 70 miles an hour is deadly. Train going 1 mile is deadly. Don't. Oh yeah, for sure. Trains. Yeah, trains can. They may hit you doing 2 or 3 miles an hour, but it's like getting hit by a building. It doesn't move. It stays there. You move. So even if it hits you at a low speed, it could very least. And nothing's been rounded off on trains to make them nice and friendly. They got sharp edges all over. They're angles. So a train hits you, it's going to cut you open one way or another, even at a mile or 2 miles an hour, for sure. But here's the one thing that maybe one of these days I'll get a recording, but the one thing that bothers a lot of people, from what I understand, isn't just, we're watching the front, we see someone jump in front of the train. That's not as bad as we see him jump in front of the train. They didn't make it high enough. They went under the train. Because then when a train hits someone that doesn't make it, they don't get to be exploded. They don't turn into that mist and body parts, extremities flying everywhere. What happens is the body becomes crumbled up and balled up. Your bones shattering, everything's breaking, because we're talking a 200-ton press running over your ass. People get crumbled up and they get forced underneath the train, and with the axles and the bottom and the rails, they bounce off of the ground and off of the bottom of the train. So it's one thing to see someone jump in front and you might hear a poof. Oh, we just hit somebody. But it's even worse, I think, when it's more like a poof, because you're like, oh, fuck, I hope he's dead. That's gotta hurt. And when they don't die, and I don't know, I've never asked. Maybe I'll talk to compliance and ask them. But you cannot help but, when you hear that noise of someone bouncing off the floor on the underneath your train, you're like, shit, he's right underneath me. Or shit, she's right underneath me. And the clothes always get cut and ripped off of people. So when they're done and people are like left, a lot of times, like most of the time, it's just a crumbled up, naked body that's all mangled, chewed up. There's just shit fucking everywhere. And it's never, obviously it's never a pretty sight. But, yeah, for sure. And that's the only thing, because when we see things, that's one thing. Not much left to the imagination there. But when you hear when you hear it, and it's more than just a poof or a dum, and the train kind of shudders just a little bit. No, this is a dum 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 dum. Oh, that noise is fucking that. That has got to be a mind bender right there. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard anybody record it. I don't know if they have audio on. I don't know if they have audio on those trains, but or on the head ends. But I've never actually stopped to ask. I've never stopped to actually talk to an engineer and ask them about it. But I've never really been able to talk to engineers. I've only heard about the chatter in the office. And every now and then people tell war stories, and people talk about, oh, remember that one guy that jumped in front? Oh man, every now and then things like that happen. People talk, and it's nasty. There's some nasty shit that happens out there. Let's see here. Trains are fantastic and terrifying in equal amounts. They don't give a fuck about feeble things such as human. Yeah, for sure. It's like there's actually it's funny you say that too, because there's a subreddit. It's called "Bitch, I'm a Train." Because bitch, I'm a train. I think it's called because bitch, I'm a train. There's a subreddit called "Bitch, I'm a Train," and there's actually like people that got hit by train. It's like people on. It's like, yeah, people are becoming 4chan. They're going to Reddit and the subreddit, and they're posting images of trains or videos of trains and people getting hit and trains plowing through vehicles. And you always see the vehicle, like the semi trucks, that get stopped because they get high centered at the grade crossings, and as a result they get stuck on the tracks and they can't move, and the gates start coming down, and then the train plows through them. You see, people are posting that shit all the time. And every now and then, though, you're going to be watching it, and they post some like, whoa, that was some graphic footage right there. It was fucking insane. Oh, ad breaks in one. You can't hear anything. Well, then I guess we should probably wait. So I didn't know it mutes me. Is there anything I can do to prevent it from muting me? It ends in 30 seconds. What the hell? I gotta do something about these ads. I don't want ads on my channel. That'd be great to have a channel that doesn't have any ads. Oh, wait. I have ads because I don't ask for subscribers. Do I need subscribers? No, I don't. Wait, yeah, I do. We can all use those. All right. And we're back. And we're back. There we go. Yeah, well, like I was saying, people post the same stuff in this subreddit. Bitch, I'm a train. Bitch, I'm a train. But we could all use the sus. It's money in your pockets. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, wait, you heard that? Oh, you must have closed captions turned on. That's a way around it. Okay. Maybe I should say turn on so people can hear. You don't have to hear if we have closed captions on. Subtitles. Turn on subtitles. It's not a bad idea. Bitch, I'm a train should be displayed next to train crossings. Yeah. Bitch, I'm a... But you know what, though? Here's the funny thing, though, about trains. You haven't had CCs on. You were just the first thing you heard. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. I was like, damn, he's good. He's reading lips or something. Shit, man. My eyesight's going, or is it? No, it's going. Oh, it's not going that bad. It's okay. My eyesight's still with me, but that's funny. Um, yeah, you know what's funny too. Actually, I shouldn't say it's funny, but because it's fucking irritating is what it is. But trains. The trains for the most part are metal. You know that, right? Obviously, even the ones that are plastic, they're all metal underneath. They're just plastic on top. That might be a blessing that you can't. If I could, oh okay. See, I'm supposed to wear glasses, but bitch, I'm a train. But there is trains are all metal. Duh, Captain Obvious. But what people don't get is that a lot of crossings are out there, they function independently. Crossings are measuring electricity, and as a train gets closer, the train conducts the electricity between the left side and the right side of the tracks. A lot of people don't know that. And as you have a train that gets closer, the electricity, the electrical current, which is a low, it's like 12 volts, it's low current. It's what do they call it? It's not high voltage, it's low voltage. I think that's what they call it. Anyways, it's like telephone wire. But there are some spots where there's more, obviously. But the trains come down, and as the train gets closer to the crossing, it measures the electrical current, and it's like, okay, something's coming down here. I see a train, because the numbers are changing, the values are changing. Yes, there is. Yes, I would probably say DC for sure. Well, on the tracks, very very well could be DC. In the house, AC, because we have power meters and 240 volts going into the house, going into all the homes, going into all the houses, 240 volts. But out on the tracks, we don't have that much. On the tracks, it seems like it's like, yeah, I want to say DC, because it's always low voltage. But apparently, and this happens quite often, the homeless like to drag things across the tracks because they're building their mansion somewhere. So when they drag metal across the tracks and it touches both of the rails, yeah, we see that. Do you know what your overhead voltage is? Um, I don't know. Let me see here. Hold on. I I don't know what overhead voltage means. Sorry. I am not an electrician. The guys out in the field, those guys are electricians. The guys that work on the trains, on the train tracks, they're electricians. Overhead voltage. I don't know what overhead voltage means. Let me look it up real quick. What does overhead voltage mean? Overhead power line, overhead. Well, so much for that. The electrical carried by overhead power lines. I don't think you meant that, did you? All good. It's what the train uses to travel in. Oh, so you are referring to the power lines on top. That I don't know. Sorry. None of our trains run like that. The other trains, let me see. Who is it? I think like LA and LA Metro, they have trains like that. Those are what they call light rails. They call them LRs. LRs, LRTs, light rail trains. They call them, they're not FRTs, freight trains. They're LRTs, light rail trains. LRTs, yeah. So the I don't know what they run on. That's, I could probably call them and ask them. They could probably tell me, or I could actually probably talk to our maintainers, and I could probably tell you. I'm gonna guess it's 240 or less. But one thing I've noticed is, watch out, because that shit'll shock the shit out of you. So maybe I'm mixing up volts and watts. I don't know, but it can be. I'm sure it's a moderate to somewhat high, but I don't know. I'd have to actually check because they got to have the voltage to run the traction motors, and if they're getting their power from up on top through the cables, that would mean that they would need whatever those motors need, and those electrical motors with 4,400 horses, something to move that train. Anything above 55 volts AC will fuck you up. Oh, okay. 55 volts and 110 DC is the rule of thumb. And trains run on much higher than that. Oh wow. 55 volts AC. That's interesting. 55 AC and 110 DC. So 110 DC is that's like twice as much as 55 AC. And 55 AC. So does that mean that DC is are those equivalent? 55 AC 55 AC and 110 DC rule of thumb. Does that mean that 55 AC equals 110 DC? Huh. But I'll ask if I remember to talk to a maintainer. I'll ask. In fact, hold on. This would be an interesting fact to know. Inquiring minds like mine want to know. Let me put it down on my whiteboard. Train overhead voltage. There we go. Ooh, smells like a Sharpie. All right. I'll ask if I'm. Oh yeah. Hey, let me ask you something about the trains. What kind of power they run for? Okay, so I'll ask. Trains run on much higher than that. You're very happy to go into the details here, but it has to do with constant versus alternating nature of it. Huh. Well, direct DC is direct. That's constant, I would believe. Right? AC is alternating current. So AC would be the other. If you imagine your muscles constantly contracting versus spasming is much worse, especially for your cardiac system. What's the difference? What's the difference? If you imagine your muscles constantly contracting and expanding. So if my muscles are constantly contracting or expanding, well, if they're constantly contracting, I would imagine it would just ball up like strychnine. We don't want that. Versus spasming. Spasming is much worse, especially for your cardiac system. What is this? What's a spasming? So DC will constantly extend your muscles. DC will constantly extend. But you can only extend so far. You got to come back, right? But AC will spasm it at the frequency of the grid. I'm trying to picture that. How exactly do you mean that? Because AC will spasm. Okay. So if you get an AC shock, it will fuck up your heart. Oh, okay. That's AC is pretty much a sine wave. Oh, okay. A sine wave. For those of you that don't know, the sine wave, it goes up and down. It's a wave. It's called a wave. A sine. There's a sine. And okay, I've seen this. I know you're referring to an oscilloscope. And if you looked at AC power measured on an oscilloscope, it is a wave. It's a wave. It is a wave. Okay. AC is pretty much a sine wave, so it'll mess with your heart's ability to beat. Okay. So it goes ba-bump, bump, ba-bump. So it's introducing its own beat to your heart, which would throw your heart off because your heart doesn't beat like that. I don't think I like talking about this. I'm feeling weird shit in my lips and I felt something in my neck. Is my body starting to spasm now? Yes, that's pretty much the point. Okay. And direct is just a constant straight line. DC is just rant. So AC alternates, DC is direct. Okay. DC is okay for your heart. You get shocked with batteries, it's okay. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Wait a second. That explains. So when you watch old torture movies, they like to shock people from a car battery, from a 12-volt car battery, or from batteries of some sort. We'll say a 12-volt DC car battery. They would rather use a battery than plug you into the wall and zap you. Because if they plugged you into the wall, they could kill you a lot easier. That's my guess. Pretty much the point. It's not okay for your heart necessarily. It's just a different type of shock. Yeah, you love seeing those. Basically, what you need is a big car battery and a capacitor. Oh, yeah. Capacitors. Those are great at shocking people. Let's not talk about shocking people with capacitors, though. We're gonna open up a whole new line of discussions going on here. So without a capacitor, 12-volt DC won't do anything. Okay, because I'd imagine it's because it's low voltage, it's only 12 volts, and it's direct. But AC probably acts like a capacitor because it's up and down, and maybe when it hits you with an up, well, you already said it could disrupt your heart. It's not constant. But a capacitor, when you charge a capacitor with DC and you touch that capacitor and shock yourself, that capacitor gives you everything all at once. Even though it took maybe 10 minutes or 30 seconds to charge up, you're getting it all at once, if I recall correctly. Without a capacitor, except shocking them across their tongue. Oh, yeah, exactly. Still, well, not the AC part. Yeah, the AC part is just me trying to make that fit. But yes, AC is, yeah, that's why I corrected myself there. 12-volt DC and 12-volt AC won't do much, really. No, but 55 AC will. I heard it from a really cool engineer guy. So, okay, well, that's good to know, I guess. And I don't know that, well, I cannot speak as to how many. I can tell you this. On the rails, you're talking, there's usually around, on the rails, I don't know. But I'll tell you this. They do have battery banks inside the house. Inside every crossing house, there exists banks of batteries. And by banks, I'm talking anywhere from like 15 to maybe 30 cells of batteries, all wired in a series. So just imagine that instead of telling your body to move to extension with DC like a battery, you tell your body extend and retract 55 times a second. Oh, oh yes. Oh, yeah, okay. Got it. That makes sense. That does make sense. That puts things into perspective a little more there. 55 times a second. And I'm sure that may not be exact, but that kind of is. Or that's probably a ballpark figure. Or about that. Maybe obviously the so obviously the high, well, I guess it wouldn't really matter. I said the higher the voltage, the the faster, the higher the AC voltage, the more contractions per second. The faster you'd be contracting, the more you'd have to be. But it doesn't really matter because after a specific amount of time, you're going to get shredded anyways. 55 times depends on the grid frequency, which you don't know what the US grid frequency is. Oh, okay. So, that's interesting. And I never heard of what. Well, we've always heard of the power grid, never really heard much more beyond that. I always figured the power grid was just everything touching each other, everything is giving everything power because it's conducting power and it's coming from point A going to point B. So, yes, that's exactly if you're going to be screwed. Yeah. If you want, you could grab any plug near you. It should say it. Any plug near me. Oh. 13 amp, 125 volts, 1625 watts. I guess that's what that cable is good for. 1625 watts, 13 amps, but 125 volts. That's AC. Yeah, I imagine that would fuck you up. Yeah, cables are different. Yeah, I'm like, that's rated. I was like, there's a plug. Yeah, okay, yeah. So you're referring to, I imagine, like transformers and all that other stuff. Interesting. Oh yeah, that'd fuck you up properly. Yeah, I imagine it would. Huh. Now, if it's only possible to inject that into a phone line and send it somewhere, like India, no. You would have to inject it. No, that wouldn't work. I was gonna say inject it into a phone line and send it to the people that call you up trying to buy your fucking home or trying to sell you a goddamn car warranty. Send it their way, but that'll damage all the equipment on the way there. It'll probably just wipe out a router and cut the line. That's about it. With you on the target. Yeah, we know what we're talking about. You know what? You know what's funny? Way back in the day, there used to be the hackers and freakers that were running around doing stuff. Sadly, fuses exist all the way there. Yeah. Fuses. What bastards. Fuses. Can't live with them. Can't live without them. What bastards. It's like Roy from IT Crowd. People. What bastards. Such bastards. Fuses. Yep, that would blow shit up. That would catch that shit all on the way there. So you can't send a nice. So you would have to send. Yeah. No. We're gonna stop right there. I'm not even gonna try to go down that lane. Down that path. So yeah. Back in the day there used to be talks. I actually had text files. And by back in the day, I'm talking about mid to late 80s, early 90s. And they used to talk about making boxes for phones. And you would go and they said, "Oh yeah, go to someone's house. Go to someone's house. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm just going to go on over there with a car battery or a motorcycle battery. Yeah, I'm just going to go do that. I'm going to carry a 60-pound expensive as hell battery that probably costs like $100 plus. And I don't really have the money to afford that, but hey, I'm going to carry it with me." And you hook up to the phone to the phone line, you hook the positive on the ring and the negative on the tip or whatever it is. And then you call them, and when they answer the phone, it shocks them. Ha ha ha. I wonder if that was even true, if that worked. But I wonder if doing that would even kill the phone line in the first place. Oh well, doesn't matter. You love the whole freakers movement with the payphones. It's sad that it's all gone now. Okay. Oh man, you're not as young as you let on. Lord, you're not as young as you let on. You're that, or you've been watching Hackers just one too many times. That's great. Oh yes, those were the days. Those were the good old days for sure. I remember that too. Yeah, because it's like, oh, if you want to dial the phone, you if you tap hang up and whatever touch it correctly, you can do a pulse dial, but you got to do it properly each time. I'm like, yeah, too much training, too much muscle memory on that one. Not going to happen. Hang up properly, but I do know what they are talking about because sometimes, actually, this is a true story, and it's a very short story, but it's a true story. I'm not going to tell the entire story, but to what you say, there was back when we used to have when I had AT&T for home phone service. AT&T didn't really take care of their shit. Yeah, AT&T never really took care of their lines very well. So every time it rained, we were always getting like crosstalk, and we would have line noise, and the phone would stop working. The entire house done working because water somehow got into the phone lines. Ahem, ahem. Never paid for their phone calls. Yeah, nice. I know what you're talking about. Yes. Ah. Well, one night when it was raining really bad, I remember I was on a DSL. I was on my phone line on my DSL modem, and it didn't. Was I on DSL or was I on? You know what? I was on DSL. Yeah, I had DSL. Anyways, I remember I picked up my phone and all I heard was static. I was like, damn. And I was not on the phone at that point. I was off. But the static was from all the line noise from the rain, the moisture getting into the phone lines somewhere. Well, I fell asleep at the computer, woke up at 2:30 in the morning, and I went over and I started looking into this, and apparently that was a thing. That is a thing. And it could still be a thing, maybe, if you have copper lines. Apparently, all it takes is the right static combination to sound like the phone is dialing 911. If the phone gets static breaks and 9 times and then once, that could make a 911, and that triggers a phone call to 911. 911 tried to call me back, but because they couldn't get a hold of anybody, the phone was busy to them. They sent the cops out to the house, and the cops pounded on my door, and they did not want to leave until I had gone and checked that no one else in the house at 2:30 in the morning on like a Tuesday night had dialed 911. I was like, it's just me and my wife. And boy, that could have that if that was done with today, that could have gotten nasty. Because I felt bad for the cops and I let them into the house, and I shouldn't have. And for all of you out there listening or watching this, do not let cops into your house. If a cop doesn't know you and a cop meets you, you can consider them a friendly cop. But a friendly cop is still going to arrest your ass. I didn't get arrested, but by letting the cops in, that gave them permission to roam around. Yes. I felt bad because you know what? I'm a good guy. I was working. Was I working? I was working. I was working for the train folks then too. Well, a different company then. It was a different company, but nonetheless, I was working, and I was a good guy. I didn't have anything to hide. I didn't worry. I didn't have any drugs out, or I didn't. I don't even do drugs. I mean, okay, I do drugs, but they're prescription. But I mean, I didn't. There's no reason in my mind for me to get in trouble. But I remember the cop. I heard when the cop came in. I heard him pull his gun out of his holster at one point. He was behind me and I was walking to the back and he had his light because the lights were off. I just had the lights were like very dim actually. I may have had like a kitchen light on and the light in the entry was rather dim. And the light was actually from outside was kind of shining in so you could kind of see right there at the doorway. But they didn't know me. And I remember hearing his gun come out of his holster and I thought that's odd. And he said, "Hey, is that a real submachine gun?" And I knew what he was talking about. I had an MP5 AEG. Well, it was an Echo 1 MP5 and I got it to shoot the raccoons. I have yet to shoot a raccoon with it, but nonetheless, raccoons can be mean around here, and I didn't want to kill one, so I thought, oh, I'll just piss it off with the soft air rifle. So I bought an MP5, an Echo One MP5 for about $200, and it was cool. It worked great, but I never shot any raccoons with it. But I had it up against the wall, and he saw that, and he asked me, "Hey, is this a real submachine gun?" And I said, "No, that's my airsoft." And I didn't even turn around. What the heck? Huh. Oh, popcorn from the other night. Really? Jeez. I didn't even turn around. Went in the back. "Hey, did you dial 911? What? Did you dial 9? No, I've been sleeping. That's what I thought." They wanted to ask. So I walked back out. And as I was walking back out, the other guy, one cop that was there, he was, he was watching for me. And I was like, "No, no one dialed 911. He's like, "Is there anyone else here besides?" I was like, "No, there's only us two here in the house." But I get it. They wanted to investigate thoroughly because they were sure they dialed 911. And I even went and picked up the phone. I said, "I can't dial anything. The phone is too noisy right now." And he heard the sack and said, "Oh, okay. Yeah, that happens sometimes." On his way out, his partner, who went to the right and was in the front office, saw that I had a PTR, which was basically an HKG1 or an HKG3. I had a PTR 91, and I was replacing the front. I was replacing the fore end. The one that came with it was a black plastic one, and I was replacing that with an OD green one. And I had the gun laying on the table, and I had it in parts. I had it in pieces. And his friend said, "Hey, are you building assault weapons?" I said, "No, I'm just swapping out the fore end on my PTR." But my PTR now, in order to be an assault weapon, if you have a rifle, with a pistol grip in California and it has a detachable mag, that is an assault weapon. But if you have a fin on your grip so that you cannot wrap your hand all the way around it, that magically takes away from the assault weapon. So it's a legal rifle to own at that point. Yeah, I know. I don't think we're ever really going to come back from this level of retard. What are you saying? Holy guacamole, this proper lore. Oh, yes. This is absolutely amazing. Today you would have gotten shot. Yes. I think today, yes, I definitely would have been shot. No questions asked. And when my wife came out to see what the fuck was going on, she would have been shot too. Don't let them in without a warrant. I know that now. For sure. I don't care how fucking hard it's raining out there. Your ass is staying out there. Plus, it wasn't like they were standing in the rain. I just didn't want them, being out there where it was cold. I was being a nice guy. Yes. You must admit you never shot anything but a 12 gauge before. Kind of want to shoot a 9mm. But yeah, this is hilarious. Oh yeah, you've been shooting? Oh yeah, you've been shooting? I shoot all the time. I go to the range. I've been out. I mean, I've shot my own guns. I have shot, geez. Let me see. What have I shot? I have shot 12 gauge. I've shot 10 gauge. I actually owned at one point, because Turner's Outdoorsman had it on sale, for $900. I purchased a 10 gauge Remington SP10 Magnum. It held 3 shots, 3.5-inch 10 gauge rounds, or 3-inch 10 gauge rounds, whatever. It was 10 gauge. It wasn't 12 gauge, it was 10 gauge. And I only bought it because it was 10 gauge, bitch. And I bought me a 10 gauge. I think I really couldn't afford to shoot it because it was expensive ammo. And I didn't really have a job. I worked for Pizza Hut. Yeah, I was a pizza delivery guy, go figure. Anyways, I ended up selling it later on. I sold it off consignment, but yeah, it was about $1,000 gun. But I've shot it a few times. 10 gauge isn't bad, but it's not all that great. Nothing to write home about. Right now I'm actually working on an AOW. I actually have one here. Let me see. Check this out. Let me see if I can do this here. PTR Jack 12. Yeah, so here's what I'm So here's what I'm getting right now. I got this little guy on his way. I've started him. This is actually like $1,300. And what it is, this is actually a Mossberg Maverick frame. And I'm gonna get a handle that folds back. I want a handle that folds back anyways. And here I want to get this part here replaced, because this will kill your hand. I want to get this replaced with a duck's head. A duck's head, which is, let me see here. A duck's head like this. I want to get this type of handle. I don't have to have the pump, although that is a nice pump. I do want this kind of handle though. This kind of handle is very easy on your hand if you are shooting a shortened 12 gauge. Because as you know of Newton's law of motion, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. This 12 gauge does not weigh as much as a full-size 12 gauge does. It's a lot lighter. It's going to recoil a lot more. It is. It's actually, it's actually a pretty cool little gun. The only thing that sucks about it is it only holds like 3 or 4 rounds. Maybe like 4 plus 1 if you're lucky. I think it holds 3 or 4 rounds though. But if you get those short little shells, then you can hold like maybe 6 or 7. Which, all right, that makes it a great home defense weapon. So this is called an AOW. This is how retarded our gun laws are. This AOW is federal. It's over the entire United States. An AOW is an any other weapon. In order to be defined as a shotgun, a firearm must have a shotgun. Well, first it must be called a shotgun. It must have a buttstock on it. A buttstock meaning wooden or plastic or whatever stock, metal, whatever, that is designed to be used up against your shoulder and shouldered properly. Okay, just shouldered. You don't have to shoulder it properly. And it has to have a barrel of 16.5 inches, or it's got to have a barrel length of over 16 inches. And the barrel has to be smooth inside. That is considered a shotgun. So as long as you meet those criteria, you're a shotgun. Well, if you have a barrel shorter than 26, that is a short-barreled shotgun. That is an SBS. Illegal unless you pay your federal NFA tax stamp. Basically, you had to pay like $200 and then have like a 6-month FBI check. Why do you want such a little gun? Not that it's any of their fucking business, but maybe I want something to keep in the car for defense. Maybe I don't trust. Maybe I don't trust my handgun. Maybe I'd rather trust the power of a 12 gauge. Who knows? So, in the state of California, they actually allow you to own AOWs. But everything else you cannot have. You cannot have a suppressor. You cannot have no suppressors, no short-barreled shotguns, no short-barreled rifles, no fully automatic machine guns. But you can have an AOW. All right, we'll give you that. Until you piss us off, and then we're going to take this away. It's illegal unless you pay us money. Yeah, fuck. How come none of us ever figured that out? You are correct. Bit of a personal question. Whenever I shot a gun, I immediately thought, once you put down the gun, wow, could have killed someone just now. What are your thoughts on this? I don't think like that. I think you need to shoot more. Guns have a lot of purposes. Look at it this way. A gun is not necessarily a killing machine. A gun is a tool. And that tool allows you to do your job. So what job do you want to do? Obviously, I'm not going to buy that, and I'm going to try and I'm obviously not going to buy a PTR, Jack 12, and I'm going to use it for marksmanship in the Olympics. This tool allows me to better defend myself. Pistols and shotguns, shorter shotguns for home defense, those are meant to kill people. That's what they're made for. Pistols are only made to kill people. They are made to defend yourself. I don't want to shoot somebody. I'm not looking forward to shooting somebody. If I shoot somebody, I better have a goddamn good reason to shoot them, and that's going to be a lot of paperwork. I'm going to get sued by the family for wrongful death. It's going to cost me money if someone decides to try and make me a victim and I kill them for it. And if you're going to shoot somebody, you'd better fucking kill them. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay their medical bills, probably, for the rest of their life. And I know the way it is in England. I remember there was a guy who kept getting robbed. You guys, you know what? You might even know who I'm talking about. I bet you've even heard of him. I forgot his name. It was an old farmer. And this happened like in 2019, 2018 maybe? Maybe 2017, around there. There was an old farmer. And he kept getting his house broken into and robbed. And he didn't really know by who, but he knew it kept happening. He figured it was the same people doing it. And it was. There were these two people that kept breaking in. These two early 20s, late teens, whatever they were. Two punks. And let me see here. Watch. I can probably call it up. England. Farmer. Broken house. Killed. Robber. We are talking about Tony Martin. Oh, he died. Wow. Tony Martin. This is how fucked up that I believe that we talked about how England was. English farmer who shot two burglars at his home on 20th of August, 1999. One burglar died at the scene. The other one escaped injured. There was sympathy for Martin from people who supported the right to defend their own homes. But prosecutors cast doubt on his evidence and point out he didn't have a valid firearms certificate. He was convicted of murder, later reduced to manslaughter on grounds of diminished responsibility, and served 3 years in prison after being denied parole. Now, here's the story about this. He claimed he had been burglared 10 times over the years, losing about 6,000 pounds worth of furniture. Police say they're unsure if the incidents actually occurred. He also complained about police inaction over the burglaries and claimed multiple times multiple items and furniture were stolen, including dinnerware and a grandfather clock. Martin had equipped himself with an illegally held pump-action Winchester shotgun, which he claimed to have found. Changes in the 1988 in legislation in 1988 resulting from the Hungerford Massacre, whatever that was, I didn't look into it, had changed the licensing treatment of semi-automatic and pump action with a magazine capacity of more than 2 to equate that a firearm, requiring a valid firearm certificate. So basically, they said, "Hey, that's a hunting shotgun. If you're gonna have a shotgun that has a capacity of more than 2, obviously plus 1 in the chamber, that makes 3, which is what we can use out here for duck hunting. That means you have to have a valid firearm certificate." Well, his shotgun certificate was revoked in 94 after he found someone stealing apples in his orchard and shot a hole in the back of his vehicle. All right, so this guy's a little hot-headed. But these guys right here, 29-year-old Brendan Fearon and 16-year-old Fred Barris, burglars from Newark on Trent, broke into Martin's house on August 20th, 1999, shooting downwards into the dark with a shotgun loaded with birdshot. Martin shot 3 times towards the intruders. Once they were in the stairwell and twice more when they were trying to flee through the window of an adjacent ground floor room. Barris was hit in the back and both sustained gunshot injuries to their legs. Both escaped through the window, but Barris died at the scene. Wow, from birdshot, which doesn't happen too often. So someone seriously got peppered with birdshot and died. The prosecution accused him of lying in wait for the burglars and opening fire without waiting at close range. Anyways, I'm not going to read this entire thing, but this whole story is absolutely fucking disgusting what they did to this poor guy. This is a guy who's been a farmer. He's just trying to live his fucking life. And these people, the police, basically kept allowing these burglars to break into his house. Now, here's what we're not being told. We're not being told here that these victims both had long rap sheets. These 2 guys that broke into the house, they have been doing crime. They have been criminals for a long time. And this, let's see here, bounties on political activity. Yeah, illness and death. Martin suffered a stroke in 2024. He died. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But see, what they don't tell about the story is these 2 quote-unquote victims. These 2 assholes that kept breaking into his house, or that broke into his house that night, they had been arrested many times and released by the police. Because, well, police are going to do what police are going to do, I guess. It's illegal unless you pay us. So birdshot-induced death is questionable. Also, being accused of not waiting for close quarter, like that'd be much better. Being shot with birdshot from 2 feet is worse than being shot from 9 feet away. Oh, for sure. Screw the criminals. The police here are useless. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I think at one point, because I remember reading a lot more in a different location, and I remember the actual story when it was unfolding in the news in 2020, or because these guys, the family had actually sued him. They sued Martin. Let me see. It doesn't even mention it. Murder trial. Okay, let me see here. Another self-defense, more than reasonable force. Let me see here. Response. The jury at the trial were told that they had the option of returning a verdict of manslaughter rather than murder if they thought Martin did not intend to kill or cause serious bodily harm. However, the jurors found him guilty of murder by 10-2 majority. What the fuck is wrong with people in the head to do that? Someone broke into your house. They shouldn't have broken into your house. Whether or not you killed them on accident or intentional, it doesn't matter. They shouldn't have fucking been there. But these people, I want to know who these fucking jurors were. I would love to fucking give them a piece of my mind. Because it's like, who the fuck are you? How would you appreciate that? Is this the mentality of a lot of people in England? Are they just so defeated in life that they don't care? We'll just let, hey, just leave me alone, take whatever you want, break into my house, steal all my shit, take whatever food you want, go ahead and graffiti the wall for all you care, or for all I care. Just leave me alone. We just want to live tomorrow. Is that really the way people are in England? Because that was what I got from this. Look at this shit. Martin was told he'd have to sell his farm to pay for an appeal against his convictions. He didn't qualify for legal aid because he owned his house and hundreds of acres of land attached to it. Martin's appeal against his convictions and sentences was first considered in 2001 by 3 senior judges, headed by Lord Wolfe LCJ. Maybe I should send him a strongly worded letter. Wow, he looks like an asshole. Submissions by the defense that Martin fired his own defense were rejected by the appeal court. On this occasion, the defense also submitted evidence that Martin was diagnosed with paranoid personality disorder, exacerbated by depression, and that his paranoia was specifically directed at anyone intruding into his home. He was also diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. This submission was accepted by the Court of Appeal, and on the grounds of diminished responsibility, his murder conviction was replaced by manslaughter, carrying a 5-year sentence. But that wasn't all, because Martin was refused permission. Wait, these sentences were to run concurrently. Martin was refused permission to appeal the new sentence to the House of Lords. So yeah, jurors in the UK are chosen anonymously from all across the UK. So by demographics, you have lots of city dwellers who have never seen anything beyond people jaywalking. Life Peer as well, what a cunt. Yeah. Twitch tried to censor my use of the word cunt, laughing my ass out. Did they really say that? Oh, hold on. Oh. Hey, you know what? This is an adult channel for adults. My channel has earned that of not for minors. And I'm pretty sure it says that this is adult content on this channel. I don't want anyone thinking that they're going to come here watching Baby Shark and they're going to be called a bloody cunt and run off. So I will not ban you. No, obviously there are some things you probably shouldn't say. We're not going to talk about those because we all know what I'm talking about. There are some people that are rather sensitive out there. And no, I'm not talking about retard. But you know what I'm saying. You want to say cunt, knock yourself out. I would not ban anyone for saying that. Unless, you know, you got on here and just cunt, and spam the shit out of it and wouldn't stop. That's about the only time I'd ban someone for that. Twats. You can say twats too. I say twats all the time. They said, are you sure you want to say the word cunt? Really? They obviously, how long have I been on here for? I've been on here for like 7 years. They obviously don't know who I am. That's it. We're banning this guy. Shit, I'm going to ban my only other person today. They obviously don't know who I am by now. So, yeah. So, when this guy became eligible for parole, it was rejected without stating a reason. In an interview with the Times, I think this is what I read. Parole Board Chairman David Hatch described Martin as a very dangerous man who might still believe his action. Sir David Hatch, how the fuck are you a sir? Turn in your title. You are not a sir. David Hatch. An English broadcaster. Is this fucker still alive? Oh, this guy looks like a cunt right here. Born. Oh, he's probably dead. Oh, he died in 2007. Does he have any kids that I can bother? Anne Martin died in 1997. Do you have any? Oh, 3 children. Let's find his kids. I think it's time we start harassing them. I think it's time that Americans go on attack. How dare you? We didn't do this. Yeah, congratulations. Now I know how slavery works in California. In California, slavery was illegal. Slavery wasn't only illegal, but there were never any slave owners. There were never ever any slaves. But that's not stopping the idiotic mayor of either, is it the idiotic mayor of San Francisco or Stockton or somewhere up north in California, of making a reparations fund and giving $2 to $5 million cash to all of the black people in the city. You want to talk about someone that needs to have the shit kicked out of them? Right there. I don't got a problem with black people. I don't got a problem with brown people. I don't got a problem with yellow people. As far as I'm concerned, there are far more reasons to hate somebody on a personal standing rather than just broad base, rather than just painting them with a general paintbrush. I don't care about what race you are. I work with different races, different ethnicities. I can't say I love black food, but the blacks are onto something with that Cajun shit. I love Jamaican food. Okay, I don't love Jamaican food. I love jerk. I love me some Jamaican jerk chicken. If I can ever get some authentic kind, I'm going to get it. I love Mexican food. I like Italian. I like Ebelskivens, German. I like beignets, French. I like Sfingi, Italian. Okay, I'll be honest. Ebelskivens, beignet, and Sfingi are all the same thing. Just different languages. My point is, I don't care. I love, you know what? Filipino shit. There we go. Yeah, that's right, Myrene. I see you. I see you, Myrene. You can't hide. I do love me some Filipino shit. Especially that chicken lugao was some good shit. And I love like a good charred barbecued chicken. And not like barbecue, like not barbecued like American barbecue where it's all sweet, but like charred, cooked on the grill. There we go, grilled chicken. so yeah. I love me all kinds of food. And that right there says, you know what, without these people, and don't even get me started on Chinese. Holy shit. I know I bitch about Chinese all the time, but that's just the ones on eBay, really. The ones that like to make fake USB drives and pass them off as 64 gig when they're really 1 gig. Seconds taken from the garbage bin, reformatted to look like 64 gigs. Yeah. But hey, Chinese food, man. Oh, Chinese food's great. I love a lot of that shit. And that's why I'm as fat as I am. And that's why I'm trying my best to lose weight now. So I can get so you can see less of me. Losing weight to have my operation so I could walk, so I don't have to be sitting in front of this all the time making pennies a month. So there you have it. And that is why I can't even lurk peacefully. That's okay, Myrene. I'm not going to pull you into it anymore. We're good. But I will say this. Myrene has done a fantastic job of pushing a lot of Filipino dishes in front of me and saying, try this, make that. I've made chicken lugao once. And I think I have a way to make chicken lugao first of all, I think I have found a few ways to make chicken lugao better. And by better, I mean healthier. See, the problem with chicken lugao is it uses rice. And when you cook rice, it's a starch. And that spikes your blood sugar level, your glycemic index, your GI. But if you take rice and cook it and then freeze it for like 24 hours, when you take it out of the freezer, it's not the same rice. It's different. It changes chemically. And physically, apparently, it changes. And it no longer spikes your glycemic index, apparently. So at that point, you can eat rice and it won't take you off of ketosis. But you got to wait, or always have it frozen, waiting in your freezer. You don't have to have cauliflower rice anymore, folks. Just make rice, freeze it ahead of time, and then take it out as you need it. Apparently, you can do this with bread too. You can buy any white bread. I recommend sourdough because sourdough is healthier for you. Take your sourdough bread that's sliced and then throw it in the freezer. Freeze it for like 24 hours. After that, when you take it out, put it in the toaster. Apparently, by freezing it, you cut the carbohydrate count in it a lot. And then by toasting it, you cut it by even 31% more. So when you're done, you have white bread or you have bread that is, I'm not going to say almost healthy, but it's not nearly as bad as the other stuff is. Freeze potato. You know what? You could probably do the same to potatoes as well. I haven't, but now that you mention that, I don't see why that wouldn't work. I'm going to look and see if there are. Now, for those of you that don't want to wait, there's actually a brand, there is actually a kind of potato that's out there currently. There exists a ketosis friendly potato. Watch this. It's like a Russian potato, I think. Let me see here. There is or here we go. There is one particular potato that is actually better than all the others. Also, sweet potato. I heard sweet potato is also your friend. But again, let me see here. Comparing, okay, here it goes. It was called shit, they don't have it here. Damn it, they don't have it. They don't have it here. But there was this. How old is this? 2023? No, how old is this? 2025? Richard Wilson, and you don't fucking know your shit? There was a potato that was actually keto friendly. And it didn't make sense to me, but apparently it was keto friendly. But I forgot the name of it. Potato texture changes, becomes rubbery. Oh, does it? Well then, it's probably best that no potato is bullshit. Traditional potatoes, they're not talking about it. High carbs and glycemic index, yeah. They're not talking about it. All right, let me see here. Nope. There was a particular one guy had it. It was available commercially because I was able to buy them. Where did I get them from? Baker's. All right. Do they still have them? Ah, shit, they don't have them. Sweet potato plants, potato plants, lilac, Korean Nancy Hall, Myanmar purple. Oh, these are sweet potato. Seeing me. Wow. Yukon gold, Caro gold, Jersey yellow. Nope. Huh. Maybe it was a fad, but there was a potato variety that supposedly was a Russian potato. Because the Russians don't know anything about potatoes, right? Russian potato keto. Ketogenic, let's see here. High, 130 grams of carbs. Still too high. All right, let's see here. Nope. Huh. All right, you know what? There was one particular one because I've seen it offered for sale. And it may have even been called the low carb potato, but I don't know with 100% certainty. So, uh-oh. You're sorry to say this, but you think you got to hit the sack. Thank you for providing such great entertainment and information for your evening. I'll make sure to come around soon again. Thank you. Well, Personal Vortex, thanks for stopping in, and thanks for thanks for stopping in. I appreciate that. It's been a sheer pleasure talking to you. You have yourself a good night. It is 4 o'clock. Freeze potato. Potato texture changes, becomes rubbery. It does. It does become rubbery. I remember that because it's like, yeah, putting potato in the soup too. It's kind of rubbery. We could end the show at this point, and actually it's 4 o'clock. I probably should be ending the show. Let me see here. 7 hours puts me up at 11 o'clock. I got to go to bed. I got to get to bed by 5 and then get up. And then we should be good. This is going to be weird working graveyard tonight. Weird. But I guess that means I get to stop by McDonald's tomorrow morning on the way home. No, don't do that. I guess, You know what, Myrene? Filipinos need to come up with a really good egg dish. That's all I'm going to say. There needs to be a way to cook. It would be great if I could find a way to just crack like a dozen eggs in a pot or in a frying pan. Put like half a stick of butter in them and don't scramble them up. Instead of scrambling them up, let them just sit and cook and put a lid over them so they cook from the top as well. And don't cook all the way so that the yolk, and try not to break the yolk, but don't cook all the way so that the yolk is solid. Almost like making them soft boiled or soft fried. And then I can take them out, cut them up, and then it's like having like a eggs over easy. That would be really cool. Instead of, mixing it up. But I always mix up my eggs because that's, how I scrambled it. But there is a really cool, let's see if it'll allow me to do it. Hold on here. It likes to say, verify you're not a bot. But I've noticed it.
Okay, look,
I've noticed that it mainly says that to me. It mainly tells me, verify you're not a bot. It protects our community. Bullshit. But it usually does that when I'm on my VPN. So check this out. For those of you that want to know how to make some really good scrambled eggs, there is this woman on America's Test Kitchen. Her name is Lamb. She's an older, I don't know, is she Vietnamese? She's Chinese. Let me see. Her name is Lamb, so that tells me Japanese. But I might be wrong. But nonetheless, this is it.
Scrambled eggs are easy.
First of all, she has a very nice voice. I like her voice. Very easy to understand. And this recipe that she makes for eggs is fucking unbelievable. I have made this recipe a couple times. It's hit and miss with me, but the key thing is do not cook it too long. You got to take it off when it's a little wet. So
Easy
watch.
and quick.
But let's be real, everyone likes them a little bit different.
Oh, and I didn't put chili crisp on mine. She likes chili crisp on hers. I did not put chili crisp. I need to put chili crisp on mine. Scrambled eggs with 1 to 2 tablespoons of pancake and a bit of milk. Wait, 1 to 2 tablespoon pancake? Like pancake batter? Scrambled eggs with 1 to 2 tablespoon pancakes and a bit of milk. The pancakes themselves cause problems. Yep, huh. 1 to 2 tablespoon pancakes. Oh, those are like probably silver dollars, right? I could see that. It'd be almost like it'd probably be the size of it'd probably be the size of an English muffin, I bet. Dare I say. Well, let's watch because this woman really has something to add to making scrambled eggs. When I made some of these the other night, I'm like, holy shit, these turned out really good. But I'm going to put some chili crisp on mine because I got chili crisp.
So let's get into how to make scrambled.
First of all, I believe in using a shitload of butter now because I'm kind of going carnivore. Kind of meaning I try carnivore, but for some reason, sometimes I'm a carb addict. It's hard for me to cut carbs. So, on my way to work, like tonight, I'm going to go to work and that's it. I haven't eaten. I'm not going to eat anything until tomorrow morning. And I have to really fight with myself tomorrow morning to not eat any I'm gonna have to fight with myself tomorrow morning to not stop into McDonald's and get a sausage and egg McMuffin. Only because it's almost gotten to be habit. Every time I do graveyard, I am an emotional eater. I don't eat because I'm hungry. I eat because I like the taste of food and because it's habit now. That is why I'm so fucked up. So know that, all you people that aren't quite there yet. Do not go through drive-thrus and buy food just to eat it on your way home. And that's part of the reason why Japanese are a lot better at eating than Americans. I don't know if they have drive-thrus in Japan, but apparently Japanese tend to make eating a destination. No, an event. They make it an event. You buy your food, you bring it home, you set it up, you eat it. You don't buy your food, and by the time you get home, shit, where'd your food go? You ate it on the way home. Anyways, one thing I've learned with eggs, half a stick of butter. Half a stick of butter at least for about 6 eggs or more. 6 to 12 eggs, half a stick of butter will do you really good.
Scrambled eggs that are perfect for you or whoever you're making them for.
So let's watch.
I'm going to make a batch of scrambled.
Usually cook eggs with eggplant. I don't like eggplant. I don't cook eggs with eggplant. But that's interesting. Is that like eggplant parmesan but without the parmesan? How do you cook eggs with eggplant? Do you chop it up into little bits and throw it in with it? That's interesting. I mean, I'm not against it. I don't think I've ever eaten eggplant ever in my entire life. It just looks weird. Yeah, because I'm like that. All right, back to it.
Scrambled eggs right now and kind of walk you through how I think about this.
Cook eggplant open flame to burn off the skin. Oh. Like on a grill. Yeah, I've only heard about it being fried. Would it work in a broiler? If I were to slice it and put it in a broiler, would it work there too? Would it if I had a roasting rack and had an eggplant and cut a few pieces like I don't know, half-inch thick? No, that's too thick. A quarter-inch thick. Had 2 pieces cut out or several pieces and put them even on a foil-lined paper sprayed with butter. Put some butter down maybe or some extra virgin olive oil and take the eggplant, put it down 3, 4, 5 pieces on a baking sheet lined with foil, and then put that on the highest rack position underneath the broiler, which I have at the top of my oven. Would that maybe be okay? Would that be similar to what you're talking about? That might not be too bad.
So, whatever scrambled eggs right now, and kind of walk you through how I think about this. So, whatever style of scrambled eggs you're making, you're obviously going to need eggs. And I like to plan on about 2 to 3 per person. If I'm making a quick breakfast and it's going to be
2 to 3 a person. I'm more like 5 to 7, but we can go 2 to 3. Eggplant becomes mushy, then put it in the bowl of eggs and mash it till it becomes like a pancake. I'm gonna have to try that sometime. I wonder what it tastes like. This could be interesting.
like eggs toasted, maybe, I don't know, a banana, then 3 eggs is kind of ideal. But if the scrambled eggs are part of a bigger
Oh, like a torta. Torta is Mexican for sandwich. Interesting.
spread, then I will bank on 2 per person. So I've got 5 eggs here, and this
She's using brown eggs. One thing I've noticed about brown eggs, and by the way, folks, I'm going to tell you right now, the difference is real. If you buy commercial eggs, the yolks are almost, I'm not going to say they're almost white because they're not, but they are a light yellow. But when you buy the cage-free pasture-raised eggs, oh man, those eggs, they're almost orange. They are crazy orange, the yolks. But one thing I've noticed that I don't like about brown shells, there's less membrane inside the brown shells. So when you crack it, there's a better chance of eggshells falling in here. Plus the eggshell on the brown eggs, they're a lot tougher than the white ones. White ones crack and you can separate them, not a problem. Brown ones, you crack them and you start separating them and they start to almost crumble. And you get a piece or two maybe dropping down. Just got to be careful.
this is going to be scrambled eggs for 2. Now, when I make scrambled eggs, I like to salt the eggs in advance. I use 1/8 to 1/4 of a teaspoon for this many eggs. The salt is going to do a couple of things for us. If you were to add the same amount of salt later, because say you forgot, that salt is going to sit on top of the cooked eggs. When you go
For this reason, I will not add salt after I have cooked my eggs anymore. But that's only because I should have added salt and let your eggs sit. I usually don't let my eggs sit. That's my problem. But the one time I did this, I let the eggs sit for about 6 minutes. And I will say this, they did turn out different. They had a great taste to them. And it was almost like an umami flavor, but it was not salty.
to taste those eggs, they're going to be salty, and then you'll get the scrambled egg flavor. When you get that salt in early, you get just a nice seasoned scrambled egg. Salting early also changes the structure of your egg proteins. They're going to unwind a little bit and they cook up a little bit differently. They settle.
Oh, hold on. What's up, bro? What the fuck? Whoa, those are some long ass eggplant. It looked like a black dildo for a second. Okay. So these are weird looking eggplant, but okay. These are longer. I'm used to short oblong ones, not long ones. This is a different variety. But okay, similar doing to like what I do with jalapenos sometimes. Ew. Ew. What the fuck? Shit, that might be good though. God damn, God damn it. Fucking Asians, man. That looks really fucking good. Damn it. And he's just all casual. This is my normal breakfast, motherfucker. Haha, you bastard. Wow. That looks really interesting. Huh. You could get creative by adding some aromatics, minced garlic and onion, meat, beef, pork, chicken, or you could wrap something with it too, and then drop it into peanut oil, drop it into extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil. The Filipino ketchup was a story. Wow. Oven broiler. Oh, I got one of these, I think. Place them on a wire rack, set in the broiler 20-25 minutes, still dark in color. This does take some time, but it's a great alternative for those who don't have access to gas stove or grills. Poke holes in the eggplant to prevent them from bursting in the oven. Be sure to rotate the eggplants periodically for even charring. Pierce holes over the eggplant, boil until tender. We're not going to boil them. Cover the eggplant with aluminum foil, let cool for 10 minutes. Once cooled, peel off the charred, darkened skin to expose the flesh, leaving the stem attached. Separate bowl, beat together the eggs. Add the peeled eggplant into the beaten egg mixture with a fork. Flatten out the eggplant by gently mashing it into a fan shape. Flip the eggplant to ensure even coating with the egg. You do the eggplant individually over the stove flame. Oh, okay. That's probably what I would do too. If no matter what, you're going to have to pull it all off, I would throw it on top of the stove, just like I do with my jalapenos. Fry the eggplant in an oiled pan over medium heat for 2 to 3 minutes on each side, or until golden brown in color. Be sure to pour the remaining egg mixture on top. Top of chapskin. Wow. Yeah, I could see that. Pork adobo. Lugao. Spicy chili oil noodles. Tortang talong. Filipino eggplant omelet. Sounds good. Damn. Well, Myrene, once again, you are the highest rated food sharer. You have shared more food links than anyone else. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sticks a second.
A little sooner and you end up with more
Set that
tender
aside.
eggs. The thing is, it takes time for the salt to do that. 5 to 10 minutes, really, depending on the age of your eggs. So if you have time and are invested in super tender eggs, definitely salt them early and let them hang out. You want to see the eggs kind of change colors. They will become a little bit darker, a little bit more translucent. That's how you know it's time to cook. The final ingredient I'm going to add is a tablespoon of milk.
No black
Now,
pepper.
I'm using milk here
No
because
black
I
pepper.
always have milk. If you want to use a non-dairy milk, that's totally fine. Half and half is great. Heavy cream, whatever you've
Dinugan,
got and you
so-called
prefer.
chocolate meat.
Those richer dairy products, they're going to make your eggs a little bit richer. The flavor changes a little bit. You get kind of a creamy sweetness. If you don't happen to have any dairy at home and don't like it, it's totally fine to add water. The reason we're adding this is we want a liquid in there to dilute the egg proteins. When we go to cook these eggs, the proteins are going to have a little bit more trouble linking up and bonding super tightly, and that's going to keep the eggs a lot more tender. So beating the eggs, pretty simple. I prefer a fork. I find that it fits in my bowl nicely. If I were, say, scrambling 20 eggs for a party and those eggs were in a bigger bowl, I would definitely use a whisk, but really you should just match the tool to the size of the bowl. There's nothing complicated about this. I'm just breaking up the thick portions of the white and the yolk and mixing them all together. And that's it. So that was equipment for beating the eggs. Let's talk about the equipment for cooking them. So here's the equipment I use.
First of all, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a myth that the best way to use scrambled eggs or to mix, the best way to scramble eggs is with chopsticks. No. Just because it looks like a fun way to do it, but I think a spatula would probably be better.
Use for making scrambled eggs. First up, I have an 8-inch nonstick skillet. The nonstick coating just makes cleanup a little bit easier if you don't have nonstick. It's totally fine. You're just going to have to spend maybe an extra minute washing that pan. The surface of your skillet is a little bit up to you, but the size of the skillet is really important. I like to use a skillet that's a little bit smaller than the amount of egg I'm going to be cooking. So for the 5 eggs I have, I've chosen an 8-inch skillet. The reason for that is the surface area of your pan, that's where all the active cooking happens, and the bigger it is, the more cooking you have to manage at a time. Choosing a small skillet just gives you a little bit more time to make decisions, and it lets you have a little bit more control. Next up, butter. It's an ingredient. It's going to add a little bit of rich buttery flavor to the eggs, but what's really important is butter is an emulsion of fat and water, and that means there are water droplets that are evenly dispersed in each pat of butter. So I'm going to drop a tablespoon in here eventually. That water that's in the butter, it's going to help me figure out when I can start cooking.
Hey,
You
Sticks!
need something to stir with. I like to use a rubber spat. The curve of the spat makes it fit in the pan nicely, and the fact that it is mostly nonstick means that the raw egg is not going to be prone to sticking to it. Last up, you're going to need a lid that fits your pan. We're going to use the lid to help the eggs kind of coast to a finish rather than trying to cook them perfectly and then get them out of the pan right away. If you don't have a lid that fits your pan well, you can use a plate. You just want to use a large one. If you used a plate that was the exact same size as your skillet, there's a good chance you'll kind of touch the side of your skillet while you're trying to pick it up and you might burn yourself. By the way, you can find lots more info about our favorite skillets, spatulas, and lots of other equipment. Go check out the America's Test Kitchen app. Okay, so we've got everything we need. Let's cook these eggs.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if she said it yet or not, but she did mention that she uses a smaller, like an 8-inch pan. We're talking about making eggs right now, Sticks. This is like the best scrambled egg recipe I found, and I'm probably going to make these before I go run off to bed. But she mentions that all the cooking happens in the very bottom of the pan. I never really thought about it like that, but that would make sense. So the bigger the pan you have, the more you got to keep that shit moving. The smaller the pan, well, the more you got to keep it. You don't have to keep it moving, but it's only cooking the bottom, apparently. Anyways, let's watch.
Okay, so to start, I'm going to use a tablespoon of butter. I'm just going to drop it right into my pan, and I'll set the heat to just medium.
I would use 2 tablespoons.
Now, what's sort of interesting is since the butter...
Remember, butter is good for you. She's not a carnivore, but butter is good for you. So me, I'd go with 2, fuck it, 3 or 4. But 2 tablespoons of butter at least, only because she only did 1. But she knows her shit, so go with 2.
Butter is a tool and not an ingredient.
Smaller the pan makes it easier to handle and control. That is correct. That's what she, I think, alludes to. But I don't have, I'm used to cooking in my 12-inch or 14-inch. No, I think it's a 12-inch. Yeah, it's kind of flared out, so it's more than 12, but I'm used to cooking in my 12-inch frying pan.
You decide how much butter you need based on the size of your skillet. If I were in a 12-inch, I'd use maybe 2 tablespoons of butter. You just need to have enough butter to cover the bottom of the skillet. So it's really the surface area that dictates how much butter you use. So now that my butter has started to melt, I want to swirl this pan to cover the bottom of my skillet. Since butter is an emulsion, there are tiny droplets of water suspended pretty much everywhere, and they're going to be my indicator that this pan is evenly heated. What I'm looking for is tiny bits of bubbling, and you can see there's a little bit happening up here, but not much happening back here. The spots where the butter is kind of bubbling gently, that's where the pan is hot enough to start cooking. I want to see that bubbling happening evenly across the entire skillet. Pretty close. I'm just going to give this little spot a touch more time.
Wow,
so
she's more
point,
precise than me.
Increase the heat to medium-high. That's the temperature that I want to do my cooking at. And I'm going to get my eggs in so that the butter doesn't start to brown. The reason I want my heat to be set at medium high is I want there to be enough heat for the water that I added with the milk and the water that is naturally present in the eggs and butter to turn to steam. It's going to start puffing. You can kind of see that puffing happening at the sides of the skillet, but it's also happening below. It's just covered by egg. I also want to be stirring constantly as I cook. You don't necessarily have to stir quickly though. The egg that is touching the pan, that's the stuff that's actively cooking. And if you stir slowly, that egg's going to have a little bit more time to heat up and to set and to be firm. Whereas if you stir quickly, the eggs aren't going to cook quite as much and you'll end up with something softer. I really like soft scrambles, and so if I'm making eggs for myself, I definitely stir quickly. My default eggs, though, they are fully set, and to get that, I make sure to stir slowly. At this point, when I can draw the spatula through and not see any runny egg, I want to shut off the heat, break up any clumps to make sure I don't have secret pockets of loose egg, and then pop a lid on this. The reason to pop a lid on when your eggs are almost done is there's enough heat in this pan and in those eggs themselves to finish cooking them. If you were to try to cook these eggs through with the heat on, the chances of overcooking any bits of cooked egg shoot up, and you definitely have to get them out of the pan right away. And even if you do get them out of the pan right away, they're holding onto enough heat that they're likely going to keep cooking too much on the plate. Water's going to get squished out and you end up with kind of that steam table kind of spongy egg vibe that nobody likes. It's been maybe a minute and a half, but these are looking pretty done to me. They're awesome as is, but what makes them better is a tasty garnish. Eggs can be taken in a lot of different directions when it comes to toppings. You probably have all kinds of seasonings and condiments that are kicking around in your pantry or fridge that would be really great here. And I don't just mean hot sauce or ketchup. Chili Crisp is my go-to. I really like its richness and heat, and it brings like a little bit of savoriness from all the fried alliums. It's fantastic with eggs. The warm eggs are just bringing out so many beautiful aromas. This smells awesome. They're so comforting. I just love scrambled eggs. The Chili Crisp just adds a light savoriness. It's beautiful. While I was working on this scrambled egg recipe, I was serving up scrambled eggs with other toppings to my colleagues in the test kitchen, and here are a couple of their favorites. You could use pesto, and store-bought pesto is fine here too. The warm eggs are going to bring out the cheese in the pesto. It really complements the basil. It's fantastic. Everything bagel seasoning is surprisingly popular. You get this beautiful pop of texture, and there's just like these little oniony, salty pops that are familiar and really appealing. I really like furikake. It's lightly spicy, super aromatic, and shelf stable, so you can always have some around. And then finally, harissa is great. It's got that spicy kick of hot sauce, but just, a little bit different, a little more floral. You can find this recipe on the ATK app by searching for fluffy and tender scrambled eggs, or you can use the link below. My favorite scrambled eggs, they're dense and they're custardy. I want to hear about how you like yours though. Let me know in the comments.
There you have it. So you make scrambled eggs like that, and I use heavy whipping cream. I don't use milk, but heavy whipping cream in there does a great job as well. They come out nice and creamy. It is good shit. And I don't know why, but man, I am definitely feeling the effects of, hey, you're working graveyard, you better get your ass to bed. So anyways, it looks like we're done with the food section today. We're done with the food section. What else do we got here? Oh, what is this? Ah, that looks good too. I don't know about blood. Using pork blood. I don't know about that. But, only because I have a problem with blood. I don't like to drink blood. Unless it's the blood of my enemies, lads. Are you with me, Sticks? Do you drink the blood of your enemies too, lad? Hey, wait a second. Wait. Bloop. Oh, go back. There we go. Dingwan is yum. Huh. It is blood in beef. Well, there is blood in beef, but it's not like you're drinking it. It's not like it comes out. And by the way, when you cut up beef and that red stuff comes out when you're done cooking it, that's not blood. That's myoglobin. That is a protein that breaks down when you cook. However, there might be a little bit of blood in there, maybe. But the blood, typically, blood turns black. Blood oxidizes and it turns black after a while. That's how you can always tell how good people are with their special effects. If you come across a scene and there's dark blood, then you'll know, okay, this might be legit. But if it's light colored, bright red blood, yeah, no. bright red blood on someone's shirt, no, it's going to be dark. Because it oxidizes, it rusts, because blood has iron in it. Even if they don't have iron, it has iron in it, trust me. Blood goes dark. Well, we did great today. This is I think the only time I've ever, this is like the only time, hold on here. This is the only time where I have ever, this is the only time where I have ever started a game and not played one moment of it on camera. Blood pudding or sausage is not pure blood. I know, there's other things mixed in. I know. I'm just saying. To me, blood sausage, it's like telling me that sardines are good to eat. I got 31 cans of sardines in the other room. 30 of them are Moroccan, are put in Moroccan spiced olive oil. Extra virgin, extra fetal, whatever, extra high phenol olive oil. But I have not opened one fucking can yet because goddamn, they're sardines. Don't need to like it. Yeah. I really want to. I think if I can get into eating sardines, that'll make my life a lot better. I've heard nothing but good things about eating a good quality sardines, but they're fish. You know what? Maybe tonight I'll have to look up and see the difference between sardines and tuna, because I can finally eat tuna. I don't have a problem with tuna, but when I think of sardines, I think of fish tails and eyes, and I know they don't have eyes, and I think they cut the tails off too, so you don't have that that fishy thing hitting you as you put it in your mouth. And they're probably good, but fuck, they're sardines. I was actually going to open up a can of sardines the other night, and as a way of getting into sardines, this was either going to be a punishment or not. I was going to say, every time I die on Counter-Strike without killing somebody in a round, I must eat a sardine, or I must eat a piece of the sardines. Filipino sardines, spicy can. Yeah, I like the ones I see that got like jalapeno and other stuff. If it's got spicy stuff in there, even better. As far as I'm concerned, even better. Try sardines and egg. That's not a bad idea. Do you mean like throw the sardines in the frying pan and cook it with the scrambled egg? Or how do you mean that? You know what? That's something for me to maybe look up tonight, because that does sound good. And I really, really want to believe in sardines. It's just, I haven't. I really want to believe that sardines are good. It's just they're fucking sardines. That's the only thing. They're sardines. And I have a problem with that. And that's part of my problem. Whoa. Filipino sardines can. Oh, let's see here. Ooh. Really? Five, five, five. Well, I'm glad it's not 6, 7, right? Filipino canned sardines are a staple, budget-friendly, and protein-rich food, featuring brands like 555, 555, Ligo, and Mega in tomato sauce or oil. Nope. They've got to be Moroccan. I want Moroccan. These often spicy sardines are popular for being consumed directly, added to egg omelets, or sauteed with garlic, onions, and vegetables. They are a readily available, nutritious meal solution across the Philippines. Ligo, Market, Mega, other brands, Master sardines are also popular. What the fuck? Huh. Generally savory, and when using red labeled cans, quite spicy. Well, shit. Now I want to try. But the thing is, it's in tomato sauce. I don't know that I can have that. I mean, it looks like it could be good, but it's in tomato sauce. Isn't it going to be sweet too? Damn. So many good things to eat out there. So many things to try. All right, let's move this back over here. You don't taste the tomato. Grab a can and try. I can't. Myrene, I can buy them. I can't. It's I don't know. It's my shortcoming. I really want to. If I will talk up sardines like you wouldn't believe. I really want to believe that they are probably one of the best superfoods, dare I say, with collagen and all kinds of great things in them. Vitamins, minerals, zinc, manganese, all that shit. But I have a problem thinking about a goddamn fish. I would rather slurp sea monkeys through a straw than eat sardines. And now that I said that, ew! That's salt water. You also cook it with chopped cabbage. You're not winning your point. You're not winning me there. I know cabbage gets cut down to like almost nothing. Maybe like sardines. Oh, maybe sardines on like nachos with a heavy nacho cheese sauce and jalapenos. I don't know. But I'm going to have to try them. And something tells me I'm going to actually like them. But it's just the fact that they're sardines. And growing up my entire life, every time I've seen people eating sardines, because I'm Italian, it's always been like hobos or homeless people eating sardines because that's all that they can afford. Mix it with eggs, then fry. But the problem is there'll still be large chunks of sardines in it. I'm gonna have to try it. I'm going to. I will. I'm going to force myself eventually. It's just it's not tuna. I don't know how tuna made it in. I don't know how tuna. I think someone else had some and I just tried like a little piece. Like if I took a can of sardines to work and we cracked it open and I let other people eat them, like, here, try these. Tell me if you think they're good. And they liked them. Yeah, these are really good. Maybe I would try one then. But it's just me, and I only have me and my own recollection, and I am my own roadblock. I do not want to try sardines, but I do want to eat them. If I could take a sardine and chop it up and stuff it into a capsule, which I actually, now that I think about it, I probably could. Stuff it into a capsule, put a cap on it, and then swallow the capsules, I would do that. not a problem. That's actually not a bad idea. But you shouldn't have to do that to eat sardines. And I see these women, like there's one woman who likes to eat sardines and she just goes batshit crazy. Oh, sardines. She's like a Jack Russell Terrier. Oh, let's try these sardines. Oh, these are so good. Look at this. Oh, and she cracks them open and pulls them out and eats them. I'm like, ew. And she just goes like batshit crazy. And all I could think of in watching her eat them, like, all I could think of is, God damn, I would never want to fucking kiss her. That's because that's just the way I am. The canned sardine is like pulled pork that easily break apart. If it tastes like pulled pork, oh, I'm gonna go through all 30 cans. You know what? I have to have one. I've never had a thing of, and it's another thing. They're cooked, aren't they? They're not raw, right? Obviously they're cooked, right? They got to be cooked. They're obviously cooked. That's the other thing. I keep associating them with raw fish. And I keep telling myself, ew, no. Ew. Ew. Sushi. Ew. I do not like sushi. Okay, hold on. Let me clarify. I am referring to fish. Actual raw fish I do not like. Tastes better warm. Well, I would hope so. At least room temperature or warmer, probably nice. Yes. So, but you know what? Maybe I'll look it up tonight. Maybe I will. But hey, folks, we're gonna have to continue this maybe next week because it's Friday. I can feel my feet are swollen up again. Lovely. I have to let my coffee out from earlier on, and it is time to leave. Yeah, it's cooked already. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. When lazy, you just warm it up on the microwave and have it with rice. All right. I will keep that in mind. Okay. If I can find enough things saying, "Oh yeah, this tastes like pork," or a taste test, "Oh, this is like flavorless pulled pork," then that'll be great. That'll really help me. It's a mental block at this point. So we are done. And maybe next week I would have gotten over this block because I really, really want to get into eating sardines. Sardines are a great way to come off of a fast. And if I'm going to be doing intermittent fasting, I really want to be eating sardines. Just have a can right there, just crack it open and just chug them. Because I like them. Because they're good. Still has the body bones you can pick out, but edible. No, I'm not going to be picking out those bones. I heard that they're soft and that they're the best thing. They said, no, don't pick them out. Those are good for you. That, they got all your collagen and everything else. Those are good for you. Eat them. And if I'm going to be eating the sardine, fuck it. I'm going to eat those bones too. You have died for me, so that I may be nourished. I am going to eat you. Maybe that's just how I have to look at it. God, if they had sardines on Fear Factor, that's one I would probably lose. But the bones are going too. Thank you, Sticks. Myrene, thanks for stopping in. Mr. Stone, thanks for stopping in. Sticks, thanks for stopping in. And Personal Vortex. I did say your name right? Yes, I did. Personal Vortex. Hey, today was a great first session for you. The first of many, hopefully. Now, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to cater to you and entertain you all the time like today. But today was a very unique day. Folks, everyone watching, today was a very unique day. I'm sure ATF took a lot of notes. And, and, yep. And hey, my mom is home. I think she's sounding okay. You guys are talking. Still has the body bones, but try the Lego brand and see what you think of it. Okay, Myrene, once I have regular sardines, I'll try that other stuff. You like it more because it's already flavored than the plain canned sardine. What is Lego? Is Lego the spicy? Lego sardines. Hey, wait, where do you get those from? Oh yeah, the red can in the tomato sauce. In the tomato sauce? Where do you get them from? Oh, you can get them from Walmart. Huh. How about Amazon? How about Amazon? Oh wow, $14 for a 6-pack. Those look like a lot. Spanish style. What? What? The sardines come out speaking Spanish? Hola, I'm a fish. Huh. Sardine and tomato sauce with chili. Sardines 12-pack. Now, I'll tell you why. Hold on here. All right. Lego is the brand. The link you sent earlier. Let me right click, open it in a new tab. There we go. Oh, I already had it opened in a new tab. Lego sardines. Yeah, okay, I saw those. Yeah. Here's the only problem. Okay, here's the only problem I have eating sardines and tomato sauce. I have it in my head that to be the healthiest, they should be in extra virgin olive oil. Tomatoes have lycopenes and other things in them, and I'm not thrilled to eat tomato. But wait, motherfucker, how can you say that? You eat pizza, motherfucker. What do you think that is? I am so conflicted. Fuck. We're done. You also cook it with chopped cabbage. Yeah, you remember you said that. All right, rinse them then. I don't want to rinse them. No. I've just got to fucking eat them. That's all it is. No. When fried in eggs, I'll either eat it with ice. What? You either eat with ice? When fried in eggs, you either eat with, rice. You meant to say rice. I'm like, why would you eat that with ice? Oh, rice. Okay. Or make a sandwich. All right. Maybe I'll fry up some eggs tomorrow when I come home, and I'll open up a can of sardines and put them on the side and eat them with the eggs. Or maybe once I'm done scrambling my eggs, I'll throw a can of sardines on there and chow them down for like a very healthy protein breakfast or something. Either way, we're done. Thank you. I have that link, and it's one of my perpetual links. And I'm not going to forget Lego sardines anytime soon. I'm going to have a look tonight, maybe. We'll see what happens. Folks, we are done. I hope everyone everyone learned stuff today. Even though I don't care who you are, everyone learned something today. Even though I didn't play Counter-Strike once. I think this is an evolving step. Maybe this means the show's getting better. Okay, but here's the thing. If I were to cut out ads completely, do people run Twitch shows with the ads cut out completely? I would think they do. But that would mean that I would have absolutely zero money coming in. Not that that means anything, but maybe I should. I thought ads had to be there. I thought that ads had to be part of the show. So if ads don't have to be part of the show, then maybe it's time to kick those ads to the curb and like and subscribe, bitches. Anyways, Lego with an I. Lego with an I. Lego. Even the big Twitch streamer can't avoid ads. It's built in. Oh, okay. But you can cut back the frequency of them, though, right? Obviously. All right, I'll have to move my slider all the way over to the left and see what happens. Or to the right, or whatever direction. Folks, we're done. For like the 5th time. We're done. I have to go to bed. And I'm going to grab something to eat before I go to bed. But we're done. We're done. I hope y'all learned something today. But in the event that none of y'all learned anything today, I don't know how that's possible. Because as I've already demonstrated multiple times on my channel, everyone that comes here has intelligence. So, thank you, Sticks. You take Kerrigan as well. everyone here, we're not a bunch of dummies. We got some good folks on this channel. So I'm glad we have the people that we have, and I'm glad I'm not a complete asshole to chase everybody away. So with that said, I want y'all to know this. In the event, for whatever bizarre reason, you have not learned anything today, know that kangaroos cannot jump backwards. I kid. No, they probably can't. But anyways, where I'm going is very simple. In the event you haven't learned anything, then know this. There are over 8 billion people on the planet, and they are not all going to be astronauts. No. Some of these people, well, they're going to get hit by a train. Others need to get hit by a train. Some of these people, they're going to win chicken dinners. And others, hopefully, will be lotto winners. But till one of those happens to you, kapow!